Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? I did my Discord message. Oh, by the way, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, okay? The link is down below. It's like a little chat room for all of us. We can all gather together and talk about stuff. I even have like a true crime section. You can put some recommendations in there and need like updates and news on that, or general chat if you just want to talk about random stuff, or share pictures section if you want to share pictures of your pets, food that you make, and all that good stuff. So, kind of cool to have. But I hope you guys are all doing well today, and we're on the every time when I stream, I gotta make sure we're streaming on the right website because I had my Twitch thing up yesterday. All right. Oh, and Steve says hi. He's just popping in right now. He didn't come in with the squeaky toy though. God. Poor Steve. He's got a little tummy ache right now. I don't know what's going on. I wonder. My dog started getting like tummy issues after we did our mulching. So I wonder if maybe they ate some of the mulch when we weren't looking. But I don't know. Steve is not really the type to eat random stuff out there. Shiro, on the other hand, yes, but Steve, no, not quite. So I hope they're okay because like we had to take him out in the middle of the night to go use the potty and all that. Oh, by the way, so yesterday when I ended my stream, I mentioned that I was gonna edit some of the videos that I didn't get to over the weekend because I was being I wasn't being lazy because technically I was doing yard work. It's very labor intensive and I was really tired. So I did like a lot of yard work, lots of video gaming. But I did finally edit the videos and they are up on YouTube right now. I think there was one that I didn't get to, or maybe two that should go out today, hopefully. I don't know. I hate making promises. Sometimes it doesn't happen. But that should hopefully go up. And oh, here comes the squeaky toy. I just mentioned this. I know you guys can hear the squeaky toy off in the distance, but it's popping off right now. La 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 la. He's coming in. Steve. 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 Hi, real quick, I guess. Hi. He's here. Okay. Hello. Hi. Brandon. Hello, hello. Could have sworn I was a 2-month member already. Actually, I know, right? I feel like you're a 3-month member. I don't know. Maybe YouTube is off on their counting or something. But Brandon, thank you so much. Oh, well, let me get my... Oh, my overlay should have gone off. I don't know. Maybe it's coming soon. Sometimes Stream Elements has a little bit of a delay. But Brandon, thank you so much for the membership for 2 months. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I still call like a tier 1 subscriber because, I'm so used to the Twitch vernacular. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'm going to have to take that squeaky toy away, Steve. Can I have squeaky toy? Got this giant donut. I don't want it. I don't want the damn donut. I want the ball. When I was streaming yesterday on Twitch, Toy Box, I don't know if you're here, but I saw that you did a membership thing while I was streaming. But I know you don't watch me. I don't think you watch me on Twitch. So thank you. I appreciate that. It popped up. I still had my notifications going on there. So I do appreciate that. Adjust my seat. Every time I sit my butt on the seat, always this, some of that. Okay. Hi guys. Hi everyone. So yeah, like I was saying, the videos that from last week should be up now. And then some of the videos from yesterday's stream, I chopped them up and I uploaded for you guys. So if you guys don't want to watch the whole stream, you just want to get to like certain segments that you're interested in, yeah, feel free to do that. So today, I wasn't actually going to stream on YouTube, but I had my eye on a couple things that I might have wanted to talk about. First, I do want to watch Stephen Smith's mom interview. She goes on interview with, I think, like Law and Crime and Court TV, but we'll watch the Law and Crime one. That one's like shorter. I think the one on Court TV is like 45 minutes because they probably have like a whole panel of people that come on and talk about it. So we'll do the shorter one just to, get the interview, focus on his mom. And let me take a drink real quick. Hold on a second. Okay. Just need to take a little breather. So I wanted to watch that on Law and Crime. And then yesterday I was watching Bose and she was talking about the Gwyneth Paltrow case. And honestly, I haven't really followed anything going on with Gwyneth Paltrow and the ski incident thing. But it was actually kind of interesting because I do want to know what happened on both sides. Initially, I just thought that like, maybe she like, skied into someone and the guy is suing for injuries or something. But it's kind of interesting because usually in celebrity cases, celebrities don't really want to be involved in this stuff and they kind of just settle just so they don't have to appear in court and deal with all that. But yeah, no settlement. She's taking them on to court and they're going to go duke it out. And what's kind of interesting is that both sides of the story, of course, they're going to say it's not my fault. It's not my fault. But both sides say that, oh, I was the one that was hit. And then and that like, I guess like if whoever's like going downhill, you crash into someone, the person going downhill, it would be their fault, right? Because they should be able to like maybe like dodge them and stuff like that. But they both say that they were the one going downhill or something and that someone crashed into them. So I don't know. That was kind of interesting. I think I want to listen to the opening statements for that. It was kind of a shit show. I listened to like 2 times speed, but I do want to rewatch that with you guys. So I do want to start off with Stephen Smith's mom interview on Court. No, not Court TV. Law and Crime. And then afterwards, there was a Law and Crime article about a phone call that was leaked. So Jim Griffin has a phone call with Alex Murdaugh, I think sometimes during the trial. And the phone call was leaked over this past weekend, right? This article seems this article came out yesterday. So I didn't have a chance to cover it when I was streaming yesterday because I didn't see it until today. So we'll talk about it today really quick and do a little quick chat. And then afterwards, we'll pop into the Gwyneth Paltrow stuff that's going on right now. And I think, I don't know, they might be on lunch break right now, or they might be back from lunch break. But we'll see what's going on with that. All right, guys. Hello. How's everyone doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. Let me pop this up right here and drag this aside. And I think the audio is good because I kind of tested out earlier. I think the audio should be good. We don't have to fiddle with anything. Oh, you know what? I know why the audio is good. It's because I boosted the heck out of it on wavelength. Maybe I'll have to lower it then. Let's just listen.
I just love my son. And since I couldn't protect him, I'm going to fight for him.
Yeah, I boosted the audio.
Nearly 8 years after Stephen Smith was found dead in the middle of a Hampton County road,
it's raining hard
his mother
outside.
Sandy wants an independent autopsy conducted to find out how her son died.
I want to thank everyone who's donated.
Is audio good for you guys?
Supported us from the beginning. But I hope to find the real reason for Stephen's.
Oh, and I saw that they made like a GoFundMe. I think they were initially trying to raise $15,000 for the body exhumation, but I think they're actually at like 80K now, which is really awesome. Hey, Shonda, how are you doing today? Hello, I'm Shonda from Kentucky. Well, hi, I'm new to your live. How's it going? Thanks for popping in. Is that your cat in the profile picture? He looks adorable. I can't really tell because it's like so small. Audio's good for you? Okay, good.
Death.
Sandy Smith enlisting the help of a new legal team to ask a judge to exhume Stephen's body.
We're going to hire experts who are going to come into this case with a fresh set of eyes, with an open mind. This is not a Alex Murdaugh 2.0 or any Murdaugh 2.0. This is a Stephen Smith 2.0. It's all about Stephen.
Yeah, and that's Eric Bland again. So yesterday I mentioned Eric Bland represented, I don't know that he represented like all or like most of the financial victims, Alex Murdaugh's financial victims, but he is now also going to be representing Stephen Smith's mom. So
I'm Anjanette Levy, and welcome to Law and Crime Sidebar Podcast. Stephen Smith was just 19 years old when he was found in the middle of Sandy Run Road, dead, in the early morning hours of July 8th, 2015. His yellow car apparently ran out of gas nearby. The pathologist who conducted the first autopsy on Stephen Smith concluded he died as the result of a hit and run. Stephen had trauma.
I wonder, that pathologist, I wonder where they are at now. Like, are they still working at the office, or are they like, have they been investigated or anything like that? Because from what I heard that like the person that was actually at the crime scene, they didn't see any signs of like a hit and run. Apparently there was like no like skid marks or anything that would show that maybe there's a car that like maybe like, ran into someone, maybe like pumped its brakes a little bit. And I think there was like some other things about the scene that looked a little bit off that wouldn't have resulted in a hit and run. But yeah, I wonder why they concluded that. Like, I wonder, well, maybe we can get access to the report itself or something, or maybe it's uploaded somewhere. Hey, Judy, how are you doing today? How's it going? Hello. Bland represented Satterfield. Wait, really? Bland also represented the Satterfield family? I know he represented the Plier girls. The ones where Alex Murdaugh and Mr. Russell Lafayette stole like over like, a couple hundreds of thousands or millions. And they were like borrowing them. They were basically just like borrowing money from their account and treating it like at their own bank account. Hey, Joe, how are you doing today? How's it going?
To his head and a dislocated shoulder. But some investigators didn't believe that because of a lack of vehicle debris in the road. The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division opened an investigation into Stephen's death following the murders of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh. A SLED spokesperson said at the time that information had come to light during that investigation that led them to open an investigation into Stephen's death. Last week, Sandy Smith started a GoFundMe
Stephen Smith is the victim here.
page asking to raise $15,000 for an exhumation
Yeah, and I think it's at like 80K now.
and independent autopsy. That page has now raised more than
Maybe I'm mistaken.
$65,000. Sandy Smith has retained attorneys Eric Bland and Ronnie Richter to help her start the investigation into Stephen's death from square one.
We think a lot of the pre-death communications can be relevant.
Oh, looking spiffy
we also
today.
think that post-death communications on different people could yield some information. One of the things that we can do is start a civil suit to look at the cause of death, which would give us subpoena power as well as discovery rights under the South Carolina Rules of Civil Procedure.
And joining me to discuss the
Mike.
latest developments is Sandy Smith. She, of course, is the mother of Stephen Smith, and her new attorney, Ronnie Richter,
Hi,
who
Ronnie.
will now be representing Sandy Smith moving forward, along with his partner, Eric Bland. So, Ronnie and Sandy, welcome to Sidebar. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Sandy, I want to start with you. I've talked to you on the phone, and I can't imagine, I can only imagine as a mom what this has been like over the last many years, almost 8 years now. Talk to me about your son. I want to hear from you about him.
He was a wonderful, amazing son. He was very intelligent.
Oh my God, that's a giant sundae. Sorry, I was like, what are they eating? Thank you for covering this case. Hello. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hi, Sean.
Spontaneous. He was like my world. And yep, he loved books, he loved school, and he loved his family.
Yeah, that's so sad. I can imagine losing a kid at like such a young age, Like I think Steven was just did he just like graduate high school or something like that? And like they're about to go off into the world, You raise them for like 17, 18 years plus, and they're about to go to college and all that, start their life, maybe have family, maybe have kids and all that. And that just all gets taken away, It's really sad.
And at the time of his death, he was studying to be a nurse and apparently also wanted to be a doctor.
Yes. He was going to start at the bottom.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't he? Was he Paul's age, right? So he was already like in his like 20s or like 22 or something, right?
And work his
I
way
can't remember
up.
that.
He was a twin, and I know twins are often very special. I'm sure this has been devastating for his sister because twins often have that special connection.
Absolutely. But she's maintaining good. She's doing great.
You've been represented by a few attorneys now. Obviously, you've moved in a different direction, retaining Eric and Ronnie. So,
He's 19. He was
what
19 in nursing school. Thanks, Renee. I appreciate that.
are you hoping to achieve by retaining them?
I'm hoping to achieve the truth about what happened to my son.
And Ronnie, let's talk a little bit about that process. You guys are going to petition the court for an exhumation. How challenging do you think it will be to get that court order?
Well, it's not something that happens very often, right? So we have to show that we have good cause for it. And I think that we do in this circumstance. I think when you lay out all the facts around Stephen's death, there are more questions than answers. And the conclusion that was reached, if you ask us, it just doesn't match with the physical evidence at the scene. If you got a victim in the middle of a roadway, the conclusion is it was a vehicular hit and run, and yet there's no vehicular debris of any kind whatsoever. His shoes are still on his feet. If his car did in fact break down miles down the road, he had a cell phone with him the entire time. So it makes no sense.
I remember that when Dr. Reamer testified, she was the one who testified for the Murdaugh trial, and she was also a pathologist as well. And she doesn't go to the crime scene. She just, She looks at the body that comes in, and then she makes her like examinations, and based off of that, that's how she comes to her conclusions, right? So I wonder the pathologists in this case, like, did they not? Maybe they also didn't go to the crime scene as well, and then maybe they didn't compare notes with like someone else who was actually at the crime scene. Because I do want to know, like, how are they able to conclude that it was a hit and run? If there was like lack of evidence of a car even hitting someone at the scene, you know?
It appears to us as if he was killed elsewhere, and
He was a classmate of Buster's. Oh, I thought I heard that like Steven Smith was like younger than Buster, but maybe I'm just have all my information jumbled up properly. Probably.
his body was deposited in the roadway.
And I think that's one of the most curious things, the fact that he did have a cell phone on him. And if had he run out of gas, he probably would have called Sandy. Do you believe that's what he would have done? Called someone for help, saying, "Hey, I ran out of gas." Do you believe he would have just walked toward your home?
No, he wouldn't have walked. He would have called his twin sister,
Mm-hmm.
who was closer to where his body was found. in
Yeah,
the
that makes
car.
sense.
He would have called her, and she would have come and got him. She had waited up for him all night, waiting on a call, but she never got one.
And why was that? Did she just because he hadn't come home, or?
Right, because he left and he didn't say where he was going, and he would have been home early enough to go to bed because he had to get up at 6 a.m. to go to school the next day.
Sandy, obviously, Stephen was openly gay. Did he ever feel any animus in the community? Because we've heard that is something that might be frowned upon in the Hampton County area. Did he ever feel that way? Did he feel like anybody mistreated him because of that?
No, he got picked on at school a little bit,
Hey, Ricta.
but that's bullying to me. But he never let stuff bother him, He said, "I am who I am."
Ronnie, Sandy launched this GoFundMe last week, and she's already exceeded her goal of now it's more than 60,000. I think the original goal was around 15. You guys said that you would be hiring
Nice, and the rest of the money can go to like legal fees and all that stuff,
investigators, pathologists,
or anything related to like
talk to me a little bit about
experts, right?
how that is going to work and how you ensure you get the right people that people that are grade A.
The whole scene was staged. Who opens the gas cap to check? Oh, was the gas cap left open? That's right, because if you're low in gas, the meter says you're low in gas. Why would you open the gas cap and be like, "Oh, let me look in here and check to see if there's really no gas in there," right? Interesting.
Yeah, so there are people that do this, obviously, and thanks to the folks who donated to the GoFundMe page, we're not limited to just the local talent in the state. And so we are going to be looking on a broader scale to find those folks who are involved in cold cases, who have done exhumations before, who are skilled in examining a body as old as Stephen's, to see if they can find out new information about the cause of death. So that's going to be a process. Now, locally, yes, I mean, the boots on the grounds investigators, there's plenty of those, lots of skilled people in South Carolina. There's folks forensically who can help us examine all the electronic information from his cell phone and other devices. So it's going to be a full team approach. We need electronic forensics, we need boots on the grounds investigators, but most importantly, we need that key component of someone of national reputation who has done exhumations before, who could do a pathology on an 8-year-old body now and tell us hopefully new information that we didn't know before.
I'm wondering also, Ronnie, I'm assuming you'll be soliciting information from the public. Any tips? Is there a way that people can submit information to your office?
Yeah, so I'm Ronnie at blandrichter.com. Eric is Eric Bland at blandrichter.com. You can call the office, 843-573-9900. We are absolutely enlisting the aid of the public here because we know that folks out there know something about what happened. This couldn't have happened in silence. So even if somebody did strike him with a vehicle and then move on, somebody left a body behind and didn't render aid. And that in itself is a pretty serious crime. So we just want answers. We met Sandy through the Satterfield case.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've come to know her over the years, and our hearts have always just been broken for her to be in her circumstance, a mother who's lost a child this way, with all these open questions. She wants, she needs, she deserves these answers. And God willing, we're going to get those answers for her.
Sandy, I want to go back to that GoFundMe. It really exploded. Did you anticipate it taking off like this? That people would see this and open up their wallets, because people apparently.
I did hear about that too. I don't remember where I heard that. Maybe it was like in a documentary or something, or maybe when one of you guys said it. Because the theory I heard it was someone was leaning out of the window with a steel object. Yeah, I heard something about that, like someone leaning out of the window with like a baseball bat or something.
I don't know about around the world, but across the country for sure have seen this and contributed.
Yes, it's amazing, and I never thought it would get to where it's at now. And I just want to thank everybody for all the love and the support that they're giving us to get this job done and get it done properly.
I read on Twitter that you said, I think you told Mandy Matney that Stephen always complained about how expensive the books were for school, and that you may at some point want to start a scholarship fund in his memory. Can you?
Oh my God, books are incredibly so expensive for like university and stuff like that. Oh my God, I was by use. We would actually, you would find one person in class that had them all printed out, and we would just photocopy like 500 pages of the textbook just to try to save money. It's fucking crazy. Textbooks are so expensive.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, if there is any funds left, it will go towards a scholarship fund to help students with their materials or whatever they need help with.
Mm-hmm. And Sandy, what would you say to anybody watching this or listening to this out there who may have some information, and when I say information, I mean viable information?
If you know something, say something. You could remain anonymous, we just need answers. We want answers. If you know something, please say something.
Sean says he also left his phone and wallet in his car.
Mm-hmm. And Ronnie, back to you. As far as the investigation with SLED goes, you're saying.
Do you guys know how far away his body was found from where his car was abandoned, by any chance?
You want this exhumation. Has SLED ever brought this up, the possibility of exhuming Stephen's body?
Well, no, but in defense of SLED, I mean, an investigation was conducted, an autopsy was performed. There was a cause of death that was attributed. So I feel like when you read those examination papers, I'm not satisfied that they were fully satisfied with the answers, but those were the answers that they had. So we're not being critical of SLED. We're hoping to partner with SLED. We're hoping that if we get the exhumation done and we could show them new evidence, new things that they didn't have a chance to consider, that maybe it brings their resources back into play and that they're reinvigorated into this investigation. So this is not us trying to end run SLED. This is not a criticism of SLED. What we really want is a partnership with SLED. We want them back involved in the investigation, and we hope that the hook that gets them there is an independent autopsy from someone of national reputation who's done this before, who can tell us what really happened to Stephen.
Ronnie, do you expect to have access to evidence in this case? In particular, the clothing of Stephen that had some trace evidence on it, possibly some blue paint flecks. Do you expect to be able to get access to things like that so there can be some independent
blue paint flecks on his pants?
Testing done?
Yeah, I'm not sure where that evidence currently resides. If it's still in the possession of SLED, then it's going to be discretionary with them whether they share.
I heard his phone and wallet were left in the car, yet someone just claimed he had his phone with him. Facts are getting confused. All the police said murder except for the main coroner. He was walking away from the nearest gas station.
That with us, and Eric had mentioned this at the press conference. We'd like a two-way street on this, even if it's just a one-way street. You can rest assured that we will be sharing with them. We hope in the spirit of partnership that they share back with us. But every question will be asked through this investigation. I can assure you that. And I do want to speak real quick to the money, because I know it's a very legitimate question for people to ask. We are donating our time towards this cause. I can tell you, having met Sandy, and we've known her now for years, I have never heard her one time say she wanted $1. I have only heard her say she.
Oh, why? Are people criticizing the mom or something for starting GoFundMe?
Wants answers. And so
Wonder why
that
he's
is the
mentioning it.
sole goal of this investigation, is to get her those answers that she deserves.
And Sandy, being a mom, having to get up every day and go about your life without having those answers, incredibly painful, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Yeah, very painful. But I survived through my grandchildren. They keep me laughing. They remind me of him. So
Yeah.
I could just see him in them.
Yeah, the grandkids are the best, I hear. I'm not at that point yet, but I can only imagine that they provide you a lot of joy and a lot of comfort.
I know, right? I mean, like we don't know Sean, but like I just want to know where that pathologist is now. Like, are they like? Because like I know they started doing an investigation of like some of the people, you know, who had like official titles and that were close to the Murdaughs. But yeah, I wonder if they were able to like untangle that web to see how many people were underneath the Murdaugh thumb. By any chance?
And I just wanted to
But we don't know.
wrap
I don't know.
up, Sandy, by talking about SLED. When I spoke with you by phone, you said that they do keep you up to date, but obviously it's an open investigation and there's not much that they can tell you.
Yes, and I mean they're working. It's just they're limited on what they can share right now. Because it would interfere in their case. And I'm patient. I've been patient, and I can wait.
Well, let's hope you don't have to wait too much longer. Ronnie Richter of Bland Richter and Sandy Smith, thank you so much for joining me and giving me your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Oh, there's a little bit more here.
Throughout the investigation into Stephen Smith's death, some people reported to investigators rumors that they had heard that Buster Murdaugh and his family may have somehow been involved in Stephen Smith's death.
And I wonder when the rumors started surfacing. Did the rumors start surfacing like right away, right when this happened?
Has been featured. That information has been featured in documentaries, and rumors have circulated online about Buster Murdaugh somehow being involved. On Monday morning, that prompted Buster Murdaugh to issue a statement. He called the rumors that he was somehow involved in Stephen's death vicious. He and Stephen went to high school together. He called these rumors and the claims about his involvement in Stephen's death defamatory and denied unequivocally any involvement in Stephen Smith's death. This is what attorney Eric Bland had to say about Buster Murdaugh.
Oh, his twin sister?
As we sit here today, Buster is a victim. He lost a mother, a brother, and now his father's in jail. Buster, as we know, has nothing to do with this. And whatever is mentioned in the records, that's what investigators are going to look at. But we have no knowledge at all about Buster or the Murdaughs having anything.
I'm glad that Eric is saying this.
Now. We're starting with a fresh set of eyes.
For its part, SLED has said in the past that progress is being made into the investigation into Stephen Smith's death, but they won't say much more. A spokesperson, as of the time of this recording, has not returned my request for comment on these latest developments about Sandy Smith wanting an independent autopsy. And that's it for this edition of...
Bye, Anjanette. Thank you. All right, I want to hop into the next thing. The whole rumor thing was circular. It never went anywhere. Yeah, until there's like some evidence or anything that comes out that will tie Buster to the crime scene. Yeah, I don't know. Right now, it's just all rumors, right? I think people just want it to be Buster because it'd be more sensational and be more crazy that like, oh, more Murdaugh, like murder involvement and stuff like that. But yeah. Stephen told his mother that he was going to deep sea fishing with a prominent friend. I did hear about that as well. He could not tell his mother who that was. I assume he was referring to Buster. But like, I don't know. Think about it. Like in that little area, think about how many prominent people are probably in Hampton, right? There's probably like, people that have like family that are like deep rooted in the community and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't think Buster would be the only one that could be prominent in the Hampton community. It could be other people too as well, right? Buster hardly shows any emotion. It's hard to read him. Yeah, definitely. Next thing that I just want to pop into, this is just a quick little thing, but apparently there was a phone call between Jim Griffin and Alex Murdaugh that was leaked. Well, the phone call itself is not leaked to the public, but only the transcript is. But the phone call is like leaked to, I think there was a news reporter that might have gotten a hold of it or something, but I don't think the actual call itself is like anywhere. Maybe it is. I don't know if it is. You guys let me know. But I want to read this law and crime article really quick and just share it with you guys. Sheriff's office releases Alex Murdaugh jailhouse phone call with defense attorney, then asks people not to share it. Alex Murdaugh speaks with the defense attorney, Jim Griffin, in Colleton County Courthouse during the Murdaugh double trial in Walterboro. So this is a picture right here, Jim and Alec. A jailhouse recording of a convicted double murderer, Alec Murdaugh, was speaking with one of his defense attorneys, was released over the weekend. Isn't you know how you hear about phone calls, like jail phone calls being released to the public? Isn't this one different though? Because isn't there supposed to be attorney-client privileges? Or were they just talking about like, hey, how was the baseball game? Oh, it was fine, you know? Oh, God, sports. A recording that appears to have been made sometime during the Murdaugh recent Colleton County, South Carolina trial in the shooting deaths of his wife and son. Hey, Patty, how are you doing today? Jim sounded pissed. Yes. After the call was released and widely shared, however, law enforcement backtracked and requested that people not share it. Alex, I really got to go to bed and call my wife, attorney Jim Griffin says on the phone call. I know that. I'm going to let you go, Murdaugh says. But the one thing I wanted to tell you, please don't think I'm being critical about that because I'm not. I don't think you could have done a better job with him than you did today. I don't think you could have done a better job with him than you did today. We don't know who the him refers to. So it sounds like possibly maybe Jim Griffin was either doing a direct examination or a cross-examination of a witness, or they could be talking about something else. We don't know. Jim Griffin says, okay. Murdaugh continues, but I do think there's something to think about that because there's one thing that seems to me to be a big deal and that I don't know that the jury understands right now. I wonder what he's talking about. Griffin then signals that he understands what his client is referring to. No, I get it, he says. I get it. A few beats pass before Griffin attempts to end the call. All right, he says, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Murdaugh then reiterates, all right, but remember what I said. Please don't take that as me being critical because Griffin interjects to reassure his client, I'm not. Murdaugh makes clear, I thought you did an excellent job with him. The two exchange farewells. Oh, you know what? I wonder if they're talking about when Jim Griffin was doing oh no, that wasn't a him, wasn't it? I think it was with Marion Proctor. Wasn't Jim Griffin doing a cross-examination with someone? And because he brought up the Cousin Eddie thing, they let in the whole roadside shooting in. But I think he was questioning Marion Proctor, though. They must be talking about like a witness that was a guy, which, yeah, maybe. Hey, Justin, how are you doing today? We're not going to cover it fully in its entirety, but we'll pop in here and there. I was listening to the opening statements because I thought it was kind of interesting. I'll listen to it with you guys. And I don't know, because I just want to know what was going on. I was watching Bose last night, and she brought up Gwyneth Paltrow, and I kind of just got a little bit nosy. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going on with Gwyneth Paltrow. And watched a little bit of court TV to see what both sides said. And I just want to see what kind of evidence they have. It seems like there's not much, though. I don't know. We'll have to see. There's just expert witnesses that just says that, like, oh, this guy had, like, you know, broken ribs, maybe brain injury or something. But I don't think we have, like, camera footage or anything like that. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to be kind of a tough case. A little complicated. The two exchange farewells and note that they will talk with and see each other the next day in the final seconds of the call. The call was recorded and released by Hidden True Crime. Oh, wait. Can we actually listen to the call? A media organization run by husband-wife duo Dr. John Mathias and Lauren Mathias. The outlet produces podcasts and YouTube videos. Oh, I've never heard of them before. You guys ever heard of Hidden True Crime? On YouTube. And YouTube videos focus on true crime for the combined perspectives of criminal psychology and journalism, according to their website. Hidden True Crime in February open records request asked for any and all jail phone calls made and placed by Richard Alexander Murdaugh while in the custody of the sheriff's office, the Colleton County Jail, or the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. Their South Carolina State Freedom of Information Act request says. Lauren Mathias explained that the recording, along with 28 other phone calls that were mostly hang-ups, were released by Colleton County Sheriff's Office late last week. The call between Murdaugh and Griffin was posted on TikTok in order to elicit additional information about the exchange from court watchers. Oh, okay, so the call is uploaded somewhere. Have you guys heard of this call yet? Typically, conversation between attorney and clients. Okay, I was just wondering about this. Typically, conversations between attorneys and their clients are protected by attorney-client privilege. Okay. which protects and is determined by the client. Often a client must raise the privilege or have their attorney raise it on their behalf. Murdaugh's attorney on the call, for his part, confirmed he was the other person and expressed outrage over the turn of events. Griffin said in a reply tweet, "It's me and I'm mad as hell. Twitter users attorney-client privilege concerns about the audio. Stay tuned." Law and Crime reached out to Griffin, a representative from Murdaugh legal team, about the audio, but no response was immediately forthcoming. Law and Crime also reached out to CCSO for information about why they felt the call did not originally merit such protection. Oh, is this the Colleton County Sheriff's Office, I think. But no response was immediately forthcoming. In an email to Hidden True Crime the day after the audio was originally shared on TikTok, the CCSO requested the phone call not to be shared. It has come to our attention that one of the calls released through the FOIA response falls under attorney-client privilege. The Sheriff's Office wrote in March 18 email to the outlet, "Please do not share this call." After the article was originally published, the CCSO attributed the release of the phone call to human error. The Colleton County Sheriff's Office became aware of the attorney-client privilege call that was on social media this past weekend, and an email from Sheriff's Office reads, "The release of the attorney-client call was an inadvertent human error. The release of jail calls in response to a FOIA request. All jail calls had to be screened by listening to the first few seconds of each call to determine if they fell under attorney-client privilege. Multiple calls were removed, but this one inadvertently remained in the list for release. An email was sent out to the requester advising that the call fell under the attorney-client privilege and to not share the call." Oh, rip. It's already been shared. It's already out there. I don't understand the Gwen thing. How was he so injured? But she was fine. Makes no sense. Jonathan Lee Richards has the audio of JG and AM on his YouTube channel. I believe he was talking about, Buster. Really? I felt like when Buster was testifying, nothing much was really going on there. Yes, Hidden True Crime just made a 6-part video on the Murdaughs. It appeared he used the mainstream media documentaries for his main source. Yes, I've heard it. This is what I mentioned. Jim sounded pissed. I mean, listen, Jim was probably not getting much sleep, to be honest. You know, the trial, there's a lot going on. You got to take notes. And sometimes, you have like a whole game plan laid out, but then something happens and fucks everything up and you got to pivot and do something different. So he was probably not getting much sleep. The trial went on to 6 weeks now. Tired as heck. Alec Murdaugh calling him. Jim's like, "Bro, come on. Let me off the phone. Let me just talk to my wife. I'm tired." Gwyneth Paltrow has a witness that she was not her fault. No, the uphill skier. The Murdaugh 1,700-acre hunting estate has been sold. I know. Okay, let's look at that because I actually wanted to pivot to that, Mike. Yeah, you can bid on like the couch and all that kind of stuff. Oh, geez. Okay. So auction house selling furniture, folk art, monogram pillows, and mounted animal skulls for the Murdaugh family estate. A couch and monogram pillows from the Murdaugh estate auction set to be held on March 23rd. Oh, in 2 days from now. The auction house in Georgia is selling a collection of furniture and other items from the Murdaugh family estate, according to various local media outlets. The Liberty Auction House operates out of Pembroke, Georgia. The auction is slated to occur at 4 p.m. on March 23rd. A Facebook post by the company notes, "Only in-person bidding is allowed." Really? You can't do it online? When do they get more money? Here's a glimpse of the prominent estate picked up in Colleton County, South Carolina. The post reads, "We still have a lot of setting up to do, but we can't wait to see everyone Thursday night." The prominent family was confirmed to be the fate-stricken Murdaughs, according to Charleston-based My Network TV ABC affiliate WCIV. Ooh, that was a mouthful. The items for sale has been culled from the family's former hunting lodge, known locally as Moselle. The property has been so named for its location, 4147 Moselle Road in Colleton County, South Carolina. The road itself is named after a river that flows through France, Germany, and Luxembourg. Oh, thank you for the background information. Would-be buyers will be able to bid on a red leather chair and ottoman set. Oh, God, is this the couch that Alec Murdaugh said he was taking a nap on while he was watching TV in the background? Would-be buyers will be able to bid on a red leather chair and ottoman set, a red leather sofa, a collection of monogram pillows, a series of green and brown dishes with rabbit and deer decorations on them, lamp made out of dead turtle shells, several animal skulls and heads, including deer antlers, longhorn horns, and 1 trophy mount, according to the images posted by the auction house last week. There are also multiple large mirrors for sale, as well as a frame art, an oriental rug, old glory style piece of Americana or folk art. The photographs of the pillows in particular appear to offer a telltale evidence of who they formerly belonged to. The monograms show the letters MMB in succession. Monogramming standards often place the final initial of the middle of the group of the 3, and the M in the center appears to be the largest letter in the embroidered pillow. Maggie Kenneth Brandstetter Murdaugh, 52, was killed along with her youngest son, Paul Terry Murdaugh, 22, at Moselle on the night of June 7, 2021. The pair were repeatedly shot to death near the dog kennel several yards away from the main house by Richard Alexander Murdaugh, 54. According to Liberty Auction, additional images of the wares for sale are slated to be posted online Tuesday and Wednesday. Earlier this month, Alex Murdaugh was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences by Judge Clifton Newman for the murder of his wife and son. He's currently in the process of appealing his conviction. Yeah, good luck with that, sir. In late January, the court released body-worn camera footage from South Carolina law enforcement agent Jeff Croft the day after the brutal murders from inside Moselle. That footage, however, does not appear to depict any of the items available for sale at the upcoming auction in the initial post. Oh, is this the Facebook post right here? Oh, God. Oh, wait, nope. I don't want to go to Facebook. Hello, good morning. How are you doing today? It would have to be sanitized. Don't want it to catch evil. Yeah, you might have to do some sanitation, maybe do some like cleansing ritual or something like that. Good Lord. Okay, well, I mean, if anyone's interested, his furniture, rugs, and all their stuff is on sale. Dead turtle shell lamps. That too. All right, let me take a quick little breather. How's everyone doing today? Are you guys all holding up? Seems like we're getting really heavy rain today. I'm really sad because I forgot that I left my tree stumps out. So our neighbor's tree fell, and we got to keep the tree stumps. They're like chopped up, and I wanted to use them in the garden because it'd be kind of cool to like sit on them, as like little benches and stuff. But they're sitting out in the rain right now. I'm like, I hope it doesn't rot. Then a pathologist from your university, if I remember correctly, do an autopsy. She determined MVA, but when asked if a bat, etc., could cause Stephen's injury, she said, sure, refused any further comms. Motor vehicle accident. Does a lot of investigating. Mandy Matney does a lot of investigative reporting, and on her channel, she says that attorneys are supposed to file their phone numbers with the jail. Oh, so they're automatically blocked at home. Oh, with your sick kid today. Oh no, Sean. What's going on with your kid? All good. It's actually nighttime here in South Africa. Nighttime. I've always wanted to visit South Africa. How's the weather over there right now? Hope you're well, Clargy. I got better now. I'm not sick anymore. You guys notice that my voice is not as like. So I'm sad. I liked having a deeper voice. Okay, so we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to head on over to the Gwyneth Paltrow case. Can I say case? Gwyneth Paltrow versus Sanderson versus Gwyneth Paltrow. So apparently, I found this out. This happened in 2016. That's a long time ago. Apparently in 2016, Gwyneth Paltrow was skiing with her kids, and her and another man collided. Now, we don't know who collided to who because both sides are telling different stories. Eyewitnesses are recounting different things, but they collided. And apparently, the man said that he suffered from four broken ribs and a brain injury. And ever since then, he hasn't been the same, he says. He is in his 70s right now. And Gwyneth Paltrow's defense team is saying that, like, well, your brain is probably not as good as it used to be because you're aging. And then also, they did mention that he did have some scans of his brain where some of the injuries or something, some of the issues was already kind of present a couple years before that. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I just want to know what evidence each side has. It doesn't seem like there's really too much going on. It just seems like they have their experts. And then not quite sure if anyone even really saw the collision. I think there was like one ski instructor who might have been there who might have saw the collision. And then maybe another witness on the other side who might have saw the collision. But I don't know. I just want to see where it's going. So we'll see how that is. Oh, yeah. So Patty The obsessive ex-boyfriend jury is deliberating right now. I was trying to watch that, and the stream went down. The video privated, it went down, and then so that's why I like pivot over to the Gwyneth Paltrow stuff. But yeah, they're deliberating right now. I don't know, man. I say guilty. I didn't watch the whole trial though, but from what I've seen, I say guilty. From all the articles that I read, and it seems like they got a lot of evidence against him. You know, even though there's no body, and they don't have the murder weapon, but it seems pretty effed. Was Paltrow hurt in the incident? She wasn't hurt like in terms of like major injuries or anything like that, but she was sore, and apparently she was unable to ski for the rest of the day or something. So she had a day pass, and then she was like kind of like injured a little bit. The opening statements are hilariously bad. Yeah, let's go over there. I was listening. We have to speed up the opening statements though. Law and crime. Yeah, the opening statements were interesting.
An expert. I actually at skiing. Yeah.
Let's see. Well, let's go to the big statement. So this is the jury stuff. Opening statements. I am going to speed it up though, because you know they do talk a little bit slow. We'll start at 1.5, and if it's too fast, let me know and I'll slow it down. Okay.
Did we get it operating? Okay.
Mic is working.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
Still can't hear.
Oh, well, let's try this. Is that better? Rotate the base of that microphone.
Get a sound technician up in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, distracted skiers cause crashes. Defendant Gwyneth Paltrow knew that looking up the mountain and to the side while skiing down the mountain was dangerous. And she knew that skiing that way, looking somewhere else, blindly skiing down a mountain by looking up and to the side was reckless.
Okay.
And she knew if she continued to ski that way, that it was not a matter of if, but when, by looking up and to the side.
So I was watching this earlier while I was trying to multitask and make dog food and take my dogs out for a walk and stuff. So I listened to bits and pieces here and there.
It was not a matter of, she would crash into somebody below her, and someone would get seriously and permanently hurt. She knew what she was doing was dangerous. She knew it was reckless, and somebody would get hurt anyway. I think I just said that. But before we get into the details of this case, of how Gwyneth Paltrow's neglect, her choices, and her conscious disregard for other people on the mountain all combined together to cause Terry Sanderson to suffer 4 broken ribs and permanent brain damage.
I'm only going to cover what the lawyers say about what they think happened. I'm not going to cover the rest of it, but just what the lawyers think happened.
We first have to talk how skiers are supposed to ski down a mountain.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. How does he know what was in her mind? Well, I'm assuming Gwyneth Paltrow, I think they mentioned that she is like a seasoned skier. She's always been skiing. She skied because like her dad also skied as well. So maybe he's saying that like with all the training that she's had, she should have known that it's dangerous to ski downwards while looking this way. But what I want to know is, how do they know that she was looking this way or looking this way or looking that way? You know, because I don't think they have any surveillance footage or anything like that. But, and I think the witnesses they had, I don't know if they actually knew. They actually like knew which way Gwyneth Paltrow was skiing when the collision happened. It seems like they just saw the collision itself, but I don't know. We'll see.
What the rules of safety are, and the purpose for those rules, and what happens when skiers break those rules. That way we will all be on the same page, and we can get into the details of this case, okay?
Okay.
All skiers know that when they are skiing down the mountain, it's their responsibility to pay attention, look downhill, and yield the right of way to the skiers below them. Because the skiers below them can't see behind them,
Makes sense.
control, as they turn left and right to control their speed, especially when there's multiple people on the mountain, it's the uphill skier's responsibility to yield the right of way to those below. And it's never enough to say, well, so what if I crashed into someone that was below me on the mountain? That doesn't mean it's all my fault. Because especially on a beginner run, they know that skiers may be less experienced, and that skiers below them trust that the ones coming behind are paying attention.
This is the normal speed. This is the normal speed here.
That's what skiers do. Before they start down a hill, they take account of how many skiers are below them, what those skiers are doing, and they keep their eyes forward down the hill so they can yield the right of way.
Can we speed it up? Was 1.5 too fast? If it's too fast, I can do 1.25. I thought he was talking super fast. No, he's talking really slow.
And even though it can be challenging sometimes when skiers do these things, they get to enjoy skiing, they get to enjoy practice their skiing, and most importantly, everyone gets to go home safe at the end of the day, and that's a good thing. But
well, here's a good thing, okay? If for those of you guys who are watching the YouTube, if you're watching the YouTube VOD or whatever, you guys can slow it down to 0.75 or 0.5, and he'll go normal speed.
some skiers say, well, what's so wrong with looking up the mountain behind me and to the side while skiing down the hill? Just because a crash occurs on the mountain with somebody that was below me, that doesn't mean it's my fault. And some skiers say, well, what if the person below me on the mountain was changing directions quickly? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's their fault too. And finally they say, look, what's the big deal? You're not that hurt. And it's attitudes like this, behavior like this, and choices like these when crashes happen. And sometimes it's just a bump or a bruise. Sometimes it's a scare or a close call. But sometimes it's worse. Sometimes it's broken bones. Sometimes a concussion or permanent brain damage. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened here. So let's get into the details of the case.
All right, let's get in it.
Gwyneth Paltrow has skied since she was 3 years old and considers herself an intermediate skier. Miss Paltrow has skied about a half a dozen times at Deer Valley Ski Resort. She hires multiple ski instructors for her children, which allows them to skip the lines. The private instructors cost thousands of dollars per day. On the day of the collision, February 26, 2016, Miss Paltrow is skiing at Deer Valley with 9 people, including her 2 children, her future husband.
I'm sorry, this is like an afterthought. Was he trying to shame her a little bit? But like, oh yeah, she hires a ski instructor, pays thousands of dollars so her children can skip the line. Or am I just like reading that weird? I put my ski back on. I told her that I would ski down to the bottom, use the ski patrol phone to call for help, and I did. No one knew who I was, luckily for me. It sounds like a slapstick movie from the 1930s. All the flatlanders are human obstacles on the ski hill. Would have thought she would have been gotten a decent lawyer. Her guy seems really bonkers when he started on the claimant's attorney. I saw they were arguing a little bit, something about like all the objections, and he was getting a little pissy that so many objections were happening during opening statements. Verdict watch.
And Brad Falchuk, his 2 children, and 4 Deer Valley private ski instructors. Eric Christensen is one of those private ski instructors. He has worked for Miss Paltrow's family for a handful of ski vacations in past seasons. Eric Christensen knows the family well enough that one time he sent her son some pottery that he hand makes. A few minutes before noon...
Oh, he's trying to say the ski instructor that she has as a witness. Well, he's friends with her. They've known each other for a while.
Paltrow's group of 10 meet at the top of Bandana Ski Run to go to the bottom for lunch. Bandana is a green run about 3/4 of a mile long. Mm-hmm. Deer Valley grooms Bandana every day, every ski day. Skiers have skied on it for 3 hours. The snow is packed. Although a green run, Bandana is steep enough for skiers to pick up speed unless they make turns.
Okay.
Slow signs are always at the top. I'm just going to show you a picture of that real quick.
Yeah, let me see the picture. Ooh, he's got a little iPad. I got the same iPad.
So this is the top of Bandana Ski Run. This is not the day of the crash, but it's near the crash
Oh, there's Gwen right there. Hey, what's up, Gwen? You're over there on the right side.
site. And as you can see, the top of the lift is where people get off and start to ski.
Did you guys know that Gwen... Did you guys know that Gwyneth Paltrow made like a pussy candle? Did anyone buy it by any chance? I'm very curious. Just very curious what it smells like.
And they come down, and the rest of Bandana goes down about another half mile or so.
Okay.
Also at the top of Bandana is a meetup group of about 6 adults. A meetup group is a group that meets online to engage in activities like skiing, hiking, or bowling, or many other activities. Plaintiff Terry Sanderson is in this meetup group. 4 in the meetup group ski down. 4 of those in the meetup group.
I actually, someone kept mentioning Goop. I thought Goop was the sunblock sunscreen product, but apparently Goop is like a website that she made that she just sells like a bunch of like stuff on there or something like that. I don't know. I don't know too much about her. I just know she was an Iron Man, and I don't know. That's about it.
Ski down first, then Sanderson skis down to the right. Craig Ramone is another person in the meetup group who skis about 35 feet behind Sanderson. Sanderson and Ramone know each other only through skiing in this meetup group.
Okay.
So they're not really close friends, but they know each other.
Okay.
and they've only done about a half a dozen of these meetup groups together.
Okay.
At the top of Bandana, Ms. Paltrow, her 2 kids, and their 2 instructors are ready to go down to the bottom of Bandana for lunch. Before they ski, one of Ms. Paltrow's children says, Mommy, watch us ski. Okay. The children and their 2 instructors ski to the left.
How old were her kids at this time?
The 2 instructors are Eric Christensen and Carrie Oakes. Ms. Paltrow skis down to the right. She turns her head up to look at her children. As she turns her head back down, she screams. Then skis back into the back of Terry Sanderson.
Yeah, I don't know. We're getting completely different stories. So from this one, so they're saying that like, oh, she wasn't looking. You know, the kids are like, mommy, look at me. She wasn't looking, and she skis into the back of this guy. But we get a completely different story with her defense attorney. Like the stories are not even, they're like completely different. And I don't know how you're going to be able to prove this he said, she said shit. I don't know. That's going to be hard. Someone mentioned that, oh, it was Mike. The dude was asking for $3 million, and then he dropped it to $300K to settle out of court. Gwyneth would not settle. Now they're in court.
She rises back down. They hit the ground hard, and Ms. Paltrow bounces off of Terry. The weight of both of them, their bodies, caused Mr. Sanderson's rib cage and his arm to smash into the ground, breaking 4 of his ribs.
Ouch.
2 of them completely. Sanderson's helmeted head hits the ground, causing a concussion as his brain strikes the inside of his skull.
Oof.
Sanderson is face down in the snow, unconscious. Skiing 35 feet above them, Craig Ramon is the only eyewitness.
I noticed that she didn't stand up, but I wasn't sure if the other side, like maybe the guy didn't stand up either. Because I only saw the part when her side was introducing the team. Hi, Kitchen Zombie.
Of the crash, Ramon skis down and stops just next to them. He asks if they are okay. They say nothing. Ramon, again, is the only witness of this crash. Ms. Paltrow is slow to get up. Her son's instructor, Eric Christensen, skis over from the left.
Okay.
And stops above Sanderson and screams at Sanderson, who is not moving. What did you do? What did you do? Surprised by the crash and Christensen yelling at Sanderson, Ramon thinks, why is this Deer Valley guy screaming at Sanderson? He didn't cause this collision. Christensen doesn't let up, so Ramon steps between them. Christensen stops yelling at Sanderson. Sanderson is still not moving. They ask Sanderson if he is okay, but Sanderson only groans. Craig Ramon turns to Paltrow. Are you okay? He asks several times. Are you okay? She doesn't say a word, and she slides a few feet down the hill. Terry moves a little and groans. My ribs. Paltrow turns away and bolts down the mountain to the bottom. Christensen turns to Ramon. Do you realize your buddy just took out Gwyneth Paltrow? Sanderson moves more, trying to get his skis around.
So initially they were trying to go for like a hit and run, like, oh, Gwyneth Paltrow smashed into this dude and then just dipped the F out. But apparently the court dismissed that and said that it wasn't a hit and run. And I think not defense, the other side. I think they even hired like maybe, I don't know, like a hit and run ski expert or something who also, I think, also agreed with Gwyneth Paltrow's side. Sorry, that sounds so confusing.
Eric Christensen steps closer to Sanderson, picks him up by his hands, and stands him up. Snow is caked in Sanderson's goggles. Christensen turns his skis down the mountain and he bolts.
Okay.
Skiing straight to the bottom, following Paltrow's group, leaving Sanderson and Ramon alone at the crash site. Sanderson is standing but hunched over, mumbling. And Ramon says, do you think you can ski? I think so. Sanderson tries but skis poorly. Ramon says, stop, you forgot how to ski. Do you know your name? Terry. Do you know where you are? I have no clue.
I think at this point the kids may have already went down, possibly, and they were already waiting for mom at the bottom of the hill.
Ramon says, let me get some help. And Ramon steps back and flags down a Deer Valley employee and says, can you get ski patrol here? This guy's been hit. He's hurt, and he's just out of it, disoriented. Within minutes, a Deer Valley ski patroller, Whitney Smith, arrives with a sled. Smith examines Sanderson, puts him in a sled, and takes him down to the first aid station at the bottom of Bandana.
Okay.
At the first aid station, Sanderson again is evaluated, and he still has some disorientation. His ribs hurt. Whitney Smith tells him, and the group of people in the meetup group that are with him, he needs to go to an Instacare in Park City. Terry goes to the Instacare with someone who drives him. He's not sure who it was. And at the Instacare, He's
Oh, an Instacare? I've never heard of Instacare before. Is that kind of like a mini ER or like urgent care type of thing? He tried to, so he did try to sue the ski resort, but the court didn't allow that. Someone mentioned that in the opening statement. I'm just going off opening statements. That's all I know. I've read some articles about it, but there wasn't really much information. I watched a little court TV with Vinnie Politan, but yeah, a lot of information that I just gathered was from the opening statement. So
evaluated,
maybe take it with a grain of salt.
but Instacare says you need to go to an ER room. It appeared that his pain in his ribs might be broken, and he still had, or he reported that he was unconscious. The next day, Terry goes into the VA emergency room. So what does the defense have to say about these things? First, they say, that's not the way this happened.
Was it in Utah, Idaho? Deer Valley Resort. I want to say Utah. Was it Utah? This also, I didn't realize, but this happened like in 2016. It was a long time ago. They're in trouble now.
He hit me from behind. I know the witness Ramon says he heard me scream and look up and saw the crash. I never saw Sanderson before he hit me. Sanderson was the one who hit me. This wasn't my fault. They also say, the defense, this is all Sanderson's fault. He's the one who can't remember the crash. My ski instructor, Eric Christensen, said he saw Sanderson above me making big turns and going really fast. This is Sanderson's fault. And they say, look, what's the big deal? He's 69 years old. Our doctors say he had some dementia, blindness in an eye, and many other problems. Yeah,
he was 69 and he's in his 70s now.
Broke some ribs, but those will heal. And 85% of people with brain injuries heal. What's the big deal? Oh, and look at his high test scores. He can't have a brain injury. And finally, they say, so what if he had a head injury and 4 broken ribs on the day of the
Why are you making the arguments for the defense?
crash? 8 hours later, he wrote to his daughter, I'm famous. That shows he can't be injured. And this is just about celebrity of Miss Paltrow.
Why are you mentioning this? I mean, I think he wanted to get ahead of it, but I don't think it was a good idea for him to mention this because they're going to hear it again in the other guy's opening statement.
Because of the defense's claims that nothing Miss Paltrow did caused this crash and his injuries, we, on behalf of Terry and his family, we contacted Dr. Richard Bain, a neurologist and biomedical engineer. He applies medicine and physics to understand traumatic brain injuries like this. Dr. Bain, the defense says nothing they did caused this crash and Terry Sanderson's injuries. Is that true? And Dr. Bain says, well, I don't know. Give me everything you've got, including medical records, scans, x-rays, reports, and so forth, and I want to examine him. Then I'll look at his case. But just so you know, you may not like what I say, but I'll
You know, I honestly, like, he writes an email to his daughter saying, like, I'm famous. I don't know if that's a big deal, in my opinion. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's a big deal. But there was something attached in that email, and evidence that went missing. I won't spoil it for you, but kind of weird. Like, where did it go? What happened to it?
tell you true. So we give Dr. Bain the x-rays, the tests, the reports, and Terry sees him for an exam. And after Dr. Bain has reviewed these things, we call him up. So Dr. Bain, what do you think? Bain says, no, actually, absolutely, she caused this crash. She hit him from behind, which means she was higher on the hill than him. Mm-hmm. Well, but how do you know? Well, he broke his 4 ribs when she hit his back, knocking him down to the ground, and she landed on top of him, just like Ramon, the witness, said.
Gwyneth Paltrow looks like she's so over this. He was on a bunny hill. I don't think it was like considered a bunny hill. It was like still kind of. It was like an intermediate hill. I think it's like what is it called? Like maybe the one above Bunny Hill. They call it the Green Hill. So it still had like a little bit some steepness, but I think somewhere they mentioned it wasn't like exactly a bunny hill, but it was like a little bit higher than a bunny hill because I think her kids were still kind of like practicing skiing or something.
The only way for his broken ribs on the right side could fracture like this is if she hit him from behind and landed on top of him, pressing his right arm into his chest. That's really the only way to have broken 4 ribs like this. Yeah,
it's supposed to be like relatively easy. That's what I was wondering. Like, how did this guy break like some ribs and like brain injury and all that? Because you would have to go like really fast. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fucking physics person or whatever, but like, I don't know. I would assume they have to go really fast. Because like my friends, when they went skiing, snowboarding, when they had broken like, when they broke their fucking leg, torn their ACL and all that stuff, they were going really fast. And they were trying to do like cool like flips and, jumps and all that stuff. But I mean, like if you're on like an almost like intermediate beginner slope, like how the hell did you sustain such crazy injuries, But I don't know, maybe he's old, maybe not good calcium intake. I don't know. Maybe was going really fast, or he was going really fast. Like, I don't know. How steep were these slopes?
Severely broken.
Shall we take a field trip to Utah? It's like I don't like doing sports stuff. I don't want to get hurt. Okay, blue runs, green runs, and then black diamond runs.
Well, Dr. Bain, the defense says he should have recovered from the concussion. Well, that makes no sense because he still has symptoms more than 18 months after the crash. That means his brain injury is permanent.
Really? Have you guys broken your ribs before? Oh God, it sounds so painful. It takes 30 pounds of pressure to break a bone. Ribs breaking easily. I'm in. I mean, honestly, like when my friends and I do a ski snowboarding thing, I just stay at the lodge and just drink my hot chocolate, hot tub. You know, I might do like a little tubing thing. But I'm a fucking pussy, man. I don't like getting hurt. I don't like back pain. Okay, I don't like injuries. Scared.
Well, Dr. Bain, will you be willing to come to court to testify to our jury so we can get this right? Because the defense says they are going.
Sport is healthy. I mean, not like I don't know. That to me is considered extreme sports. Okay, I like baseball. You know, softball is kind of fun. Tennis is fun. Racquetball is fun. What's the one with the little feather thing? What's it called again? That little feather thing is fun too. Yeah, I don't know. I like stuff like that. But like when it starts getting to like extreme sports, skiing, snowboarding all day, wow, I'm like, oh God, no. I'll probably do it for like 2 hours and not even get my money's worth. That's about it. Oh no, your cousin had a TBI and that shit takes forever to heal. Does not mean it's permanent. Ooh, God. You broke your humerus arm wrestling? Wait, arm wrestling? Oh my God. How? Did the person just did it really quickly? Oof. Yeah, fractured ribs are nasty. You sneeze. Oh, and you feel pain on a different level. Oh. I stuck my ski in the back of a mogul in a mogul completion at Vail. It pinched me hard and I cracked my rib. Had to avoid laughing for a month. Oh, God. Sports are fun. I drove rally cars. Oh, that does sound fun. Jesus. Ugh. Oh, yeah, swimming. Yeah, swimming is fun, too. I'm trying to do swimming and stuff. I'll watch, but I'm a wimp. Yeah, I'm a wimp, too. I just don't want to get hurt. I don't like pain.
Going to take this all the way to trial. I'd love to, but I'm busy that week. But I can give you my deposition. So last week, the parties took Dr. Bain's deposition. You, the jury, will see it this week. And just so you know, a deposition is an out-of-court sworn testimony where the lawyers on both sides testify.
Oh man, video depositions are kind of boring to watch in court. Like, oh, but okay.
Ask questions to a witness, and in this case, it was recorded.
Okay, all right.
So what happened to Terry? Well, the day after the crash, he goes to the VA hospital. At the VA, they x-ray his ribs, and they say, yes, you've got 4 broken ribs,
Oof.
2 of them broken completely.
Ooh.
And then a few days later, they confirm Terry suffered a concussion in this ski crash. Over the next year, Terry is seen by various people at the VA, including speech therapists and other doctors, a psychiatrist, and he's trying to get better. Terry doesn't want to have a brain injury. Terry was a eye doctor in the Army.
I don't know, man. This is going to be hard. Like, I don't know what was on the GoPro footage, but this seems like it's going to be a tough one, man. Because what if it's like, okay, let's say Terry, the victim here, the supposed victim, right? Let's say Terry had such a bad concussion that he actually doesn't even know what even happened. He doesn't know if he ran into her or she ran into him. Like, he's just lost. But because there was a friend of his that was like, oh yeah, I saw her run into you. Like, what if that friend, what if he, you know, what if his, like, what if what he thought he saw was wrong or something? I don't know. I just feel like this is kind of like a tough one. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of like eyewitnesses either. And I don't think there's any cameras or anything.
For 3 years, a captain. And that's why he goes to the VA. But after a year, he's still got symptoms of a persistent brain injury. So,
like, yes, he got hurt, but I mean, all this hurt stuff won't even matter if they can't even prove that she was the one that ran into him, right? How are they going to prove that?
I refer him to Dr. Alina Fong. She's a neuropsychologist in Utah County, and she treats thousands of people who suffer brain injuries that are persistent. And Dr. Fong treated Terry from...
Yeah, because it seemed like Terry was kind of confused when it happened. I think they mentioned that he was like knocked out cold. And then apparently when Gwen did talk to Terry, I think he said that like, he was like, I think she told him like, oh, you ran into me. And he said, sorry. So I don't know. He could have just been really confused. But because like his sort of friend was like, oh, no, she ran into you. Maybe he like really was like, oh, okay, maybe she did run into me then. But maybe he doesn't even know what happened, right?
About a year and 3 months after the crash to about a year and 6 months after the crash. Dr. Fong will testify in this case via video deposition because she couldn't be here for trial also.
Oh no, video depositions. Oh, that's going to be tough for these key witnesses. That's going to be tough, man. I feel like video depositions sometimes. Okay. All right. Well, I just wanted to know what his version of the story is. Let's go over to Gwyneth Paltrow's lawyer. I don't know any of the lawyers' names, so we're not on name-to-name basis right now. We're just going to refer to as Paltrow's lawyer and then the plaintiff's lawyer, Mr. Terry Sanderson. Hi, Judge. Oh, this is Mr. Owens.
Members of the jury, thank you for being here, partly against your will. It's a beautiful thing, the law. When people are in big disputes, our system, both our U.S. Constitution and our state Constitution, allows these disputes to be done openly, publicly, and by a jury of one's peers. And I think it's a beautiful thing.
I'm just going to get to the meat of it. Okay, we're just going to get to what happened. He's going to talk about the system, ancient Greece. Something about the lady. She's blindfolded. The justice lady, I think. There's a statue somewhere, maybe in Philadelphia. Oh, this one right here. Got the balance right there, the scale. She's got a sword in her left hand. Is he sweating? He might be sweating a little bit. All right, I think he's getting... Oh, I think he's getting to the meat of it. Okay, all right, we're here.
Unlike a car accident or something, a ski collision is different. There are inherent risks of skiing. I know when I get on the top of the tram at Snowbird, and it's a gusty day like today, and I say, if I don't do this right, I could kill myself. I mean, it's a breathtaking, wonderful, exhilarating, but also a little dangerous, isn't it? That we're strapping on pieces of wood or fiberglass.
How much is he suing for? 3 million, right? 3 million? Is that still the number? Someone mentioned that he tried to settle for $300K and Gwyneth was like, nah, dog.
On our boots, and we're going down a very snowy, icy hill. So, that happens. Maybe some of you have been hit. I've been hit skiing.
Yeah, actress Gwyneth Paltrow is set to face off with a retired doctor in a civil trial starting March 21st over a ski crash in February 2016. Plaintiff Terry Sanderson alleges the famed actress was skiing out of control when the two collided at Deer Valley Resort 7 years ago. Paltrow fired back, countersuing Sanderson for $1, claiming his recollection of events was incorrect, that he crashed into her. I think he's suing for $3 million. $3 million, right? I think he's asking for $300K now. We'll find out more. Open this tab.
It was disorienting. It was unhappy. I was unhappy, to say the least. But I did recognize it as an inherent risk. I mean, okay, let me move on that.
Huh?
So the blindfold is, I'm not going to do this because I feel sorry for someone. Then the scales. Mr. Sanderson has brought the claim. As a result, he has to tip the scale. Okay? The tie means plaintiff does not...
Wait, what? Did I just do a jump or... Oh, is he... Okay, he's just restating some stuff.
Not win. Tie goes to the defendant. So they have to tip. That's who brought the claim. That's the weighing. And then you see the sword. Now, the sword can be, I'm seeking justice, so I'm proactively fighting it, and sometimes Lady Justice is actually seen with a shield. Let me suggest that that sword is being used to defend a meritless claim, a false allegation, really kind of an offensive one, that she somehow left him...
Wait, okay, can I interrupt him really quick? Let's read this. In May 2022, last year, 3rd District Judge Kent Holmberg left Sanderson with the claim of simple negligence against Paltrow for the crash itself, but axed all of the additional claims involving anything that happened after the crash, and all of the claims against Paltrow's ski instructor, Eric Christensen, and the Deer Valley Resort Company, according to Salt Lake City-based NBC affiliate KSL. After that ruling, Sanderson's original $3.1 million claim was reduced to $300K. She did not knock him down, her countersuit says. He knocked her down. He was not knocked out. Miss Paltrow was skiing carefully. She skied slowly to slay behind her kids, who were receiving skiing instructions slightly further down the mountain. Paltrow is basically seeking a moral victory to clear her name. Her countersuit requests $1 in damages plus attorney's fee. Sanderson's remaining claim of simple negligence is likely to be anything but simple in a case involving such a high-profile defendant. What this looks like is a garden variety negligence case, but it won't be a garden variety case because of who is involved. The tort law expert who teaches at Salt Lake City noted that there have been numerous pretrial motions about the media access court rules and concerning decorum and similar filings. It's going to be an outlier case. Brown stressed that a simple negligence case is normally pretty simple and that the basic thrust of the case can be summed up by a question. Did someone do something that was so careless that caused harm? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be hard for him to prove that. I don't know. Good luck. Under Utah law, simple negligence is defined as in a statute as the failure to exercise the degree of care that reasonable and prudent persons exercise under like or similar circumstances. The big issue here is going to be about the evidence and who the jury believes, and it really depends on whose story you believe. In a lot of negligence cases, you have competing versions of what happened, and that's true here. In one version, Paltrow, did I spell her name right in the title? I think I did, right? Did I spell her name right in the title, guys? Is more at fault. In another version, Sanderson is more at fault. The 8-person jury is likely to consider what is known as the Utah law of slopes, which generally says that skiing is inherently dangerous, that people skiing ahead of you have a right of way, and that it is your responsibility to avoid those ahead of you. Is there an obligation to ski carefully? Yes. That won't be litigated. That won't be controversial. The issue will be which of the party was more careless and was there carelessness enough to cause injury? Not just about jumping to elements. It's really coming down to who does the jury believe? Oh man, and that guy has like some really important expert witnesses. That's going to be video deposition. Oh, whose experts did the jury believe? Whose party do they believe? Yeah. In response to Paltrow's countersuit, Sanderson admitted that his recollection of the incident is imperfect. He says that memory loss is a byproduct of the crash. Paltrow, on the other hand, claims to remember everything about the crash. She alleges that despite suffering only minor injuries, the incident forced her off the slope for the rest of the day. Perhaps instrumental will be the testimony of Christensen. So this is her ski instructor. Sanderson claims the ski instructor and the prior defendant did not see the crash, but fabricated a claim to absolve Paltrow, his student, that day. Christensen said he did see it all and that Sanderson is the one to blame. One important piece, which people don't often learn about in law school, is that the jury assessing the faces of the parties as they testify. It's like something you see on playgrounds with toddlers. One kid says the other knocked the other one down. No one saw it happen. You have to go back and recreate the incident and see who is more credible. I don't know how I was going to prove this. Okay. What is unique here is that the plaintiff is asking for a larger sum based on demographics. It's someone that earned a pretty good income. The CEO of George Salinas Injury Lawyers added, given that the damages are capped at $300K for Sanderson and Paltrow counterclaim for $1 plus attorney's fees, this long battle seems to be more about principle than anything else for the litigants. Okay. All right. I'm going to use the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back. And we'll read some comments. I'll be right back. Okay. I go there every year during the summertime and F1 races. I think they have the F1 race here in California. They do like a tour, right? Where they go to different cities and stuff like that. Is that Formula One? Quick peeing corgi. Yeah, I don't wash my hands. That's why. Just kidding.
I'm an unconscious man and bolted, and it's. I can tell you, we believe it to be utter BS.
Objection, Your Honor. Argument. He's supposed to present what he's going to show, not argue it.
We believe it to be. It's fair. It's fair, isn't it?
Oh, sustained. It is bordering on argument, counsel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I want to keep track of how many objections there are and how many were sustained and how many were overruled. La 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 la. Okay, so we got one objection so far. Objection sustained.
Suing for $3 million. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'm going to hit damages later. I want to hit the merits of the case first. So the burden of proof, I wanted to emphasize, and then instruction 11 says don't abandon your common sense. So this can look. You're going to hear from brain experts and a lot of people to talk about this, but don't abandon your common sense. That's very important. I also want to just reference to you that you should pay attention more to the records before someone's thinking lawsuit.
Oh, maybe it's the Grand Prix. I think I'm getting it mixed up. Grand Prix? Is that different? Or is it the same? I don't know. I don't know this racing stuff. It's the same or different?
Then the records after someone's thinking lawsuit.
Objection, argument, Your Honor. This is open statement. This is argument.
Sustained.
You're going to see a lot of records.
Two
about,
sustained.
What was going on before and during, and then after. Some of the records before indicate that Terry Sanders had brain issues before. In fact, there was a prior MRI. Now, let me hit the accident, because I'd be silly to address other issues. Let me explain what was happening. And can you find that second picture? Ms. Paltrow has sentimental feelings about skiing. Her dad, who left this life too early, took her skiing as a kid at Alta. She grew up learning to ski, and those are very sentimental trips. In fact, after her dad died in his 50s, she didn't ski for a long time because it was an emotional thing for her. That is Ms. Paltrow. That is Gwyneth on the right. That is her son, Moses, on the left, on the very day of the ski accident. All right, so they're going up, and this was also, so it was a sentimental issue because she had started getting back into skiing, and she did it because she wanted her kids to learn like she had.
Okay.
Another thing, she had a boyfriend at the time who's now her husband, and he has kids the exact same age as Gwyneth's daughter and son.
Okay.
The daughter is the same age as the daughter, and the son is the son. And this was really their first trip to sort of have a mixed, see if this might work. So it was a special time, and it was a lovely day.
I believe the kids are going to testify, but like this happened a long time ago. So the kids are like a lot older now.
Okay, so some ski events we worry about, is the sun in someone's eyes? No one's saying that. Is it a snowy day? No, it was a nice day. How about, was it slick run? No, it was a nice groomed run. How about, was it a really complex hill? No, it wasn't the bunny hill, but Bandana, who maybe some of you know, I mean, it's a green hill. And so none of those factors kind of come into play. Moderately busy.
Okay.
And she's skiing, again, with a group. So her group is she, Brad, now her husband, who you're going to hear from, her daughter,
Okay.
Apple, who you're going to hear from, Moses, who you're going to hear from, and then some Deer Valley
All right, her whole family testified.
people. Now, these weren't her people. These were Deer Valley instructors. I could have hired Eric Christiansen that day, just as Gwyneth did. And then Brad has 2 kids, and they had ski instructors. So
Okay.
that was their group. It was kind of a loose group, but nonetheless, they went to the top. They met at the top of Bandana with the plan. This was about 11:30, 11 a.m. We're going to go down and have lunch. I think it's the Empire Lodge, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we're going to all kind of ski down.
Okay.
Gwyneth is a conservative skier. She always skis on the far right. So if it's like a highway, fast people go on the left. I don't know if it's the same, but...
Wait, why bring it up? You don't know if it's the same. Does anyone go skiing though? Is that a thing? You're going left. You're going fast. You're going the right. You're going slow.
Far right, and then kind of small curves. And she's generally watching her kids, but she's not specifically watching them because they have their instructors.
Mm-hmm.
She's skiing, enjoying herself. and she hears, suddenly she sees two skis appear between her skis.
Okay.
And a man comes up right behind her. Now, they're not going fast. That's kind of the odd thing here.
Completely different story. Completely different story. Oh God, which story do you think the jury's gonna believe? The guy I mentioned, the guy that is suing Gwyneth Paltrow, he was on court TV and he said Gwyneth Paltrow was screaming like King Kong. I'm trying to visualize Gwyneth Paltrow screaming like King Kong as she's coming down the hill and crushing into him. But I thought it was a very interesting way to describe that. To me, the other people are human moving obstacles. I need to see the x-ray if it's his ribs. I mean, he's going to have his experts testify. Unfortunately, it's a video deposition though, but I'm sure they'll have x-rays and stuff and the evidence and all that stuff. But yeah, as long as he could find it. God, it was so funny. Court TV. Court TV. And let me see. This one. Their transcripts. Yes, baby. I love transcripts. No, there's no transcripts. What the why not? Oh, here it is. Okay. King Kong. King Kong. Kong? Ah. Maybe wasn't it not this video? The guy was doing an interview. King. Thinking, taking, asking.
Homes getting throw because almost all of them raised their hand, but I noted one woman in her
to her. What does she say about this, any potential proceeds that this?
I mean, Julia's got it made. So here's the deal. Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't want the reputational damage. I mean,
maybe it wasn't this video, but the guy describes her as King Kong. Oh, where is it? I promise you it's somewhere. Ah, okay. If anyone knows what video I'm talking about, let me know. Because I just thought it was, I don't know. I just can't imagine Gwyneth Paltrow screaming like King Kong. She comes crashing down out of the sky. But, you know, maybe it did happen.
He comes up almost body to body like this and starts groaning.
Wait, the way that he's describing this is like, it sounds, I don't know. If I was Gwyneth Paltrow, though, I would be like, oh my, I would freak the fuck out. But let's listen. I'm slowing this down really quick.
Body to body like this and starts groaning. She doesn't know what's going on. What's going on? Am I being assaulted? She's moving forward. And then she's like, they begin falling to the right. And she's feeling freaked out, I think is a fair statement. And he hits down.
I saw it was funny. Yeah, do you remember where it was, Patty? I thought it was Court TV that covered it. Because I'm pretty sure it was Vinnie Politan and he was like talking about it.
Apparently his side and his head, and she is essentially falling on him, but keep in mind his skis are intertwined now with hers.
Okay, I'm going to speed up to 1.25.
Her first reaction is get away from this. And so she's trying to get away. What has just happened? Now, she only has to think about this for a few seconds to realize, okay, I'm not being assaulted. But this fellow, she had a more colorful word, has just run into me. And she said, what are you doing? Or words to that effect. And he's like, words to the effect, I didn't see you. And then there's a question, well, who ran into who? And he says, you ran into me? And Gwyneth's like, no, you ran square right into me. And he said, I'm sorry. He doesn't deny saying, I'm sorry. He doesn't remember it, but he doesn't dispute it. Now, she's still ticked off. In fact, much has been said about the so-called only eyewitness. So you're going to hear from him this afternoon. I don't have to give you commentary on him. But he will say he heard and turned. He heard and turned. That's what the Deer Valley guy says. Eric Christiansen, one of the instructors, said he heard and turned and then saw.
So we actually don't have any eyewitness that saw the actual collision and whether or not Gwyneth Paltrow was looking off to the side, left, right, or something like that?
So I'll comment just a minute more on Mr. Ramon in just a minute. You'll hear about him.
I'm setting him back up.
Back to Gwyneth's story.
Okay, back to
So
story.
she's backed up. She's safe. Eric's on the scene. He's helping people get their skis off. And he's trying to figure out what happened. Now, Eric, backing up, they started at the hill. This is at the very beginning of the hill, by the way. It's not halfway down. It's not 3/4 down. It's the first quarter down. He's trying to figure out what happened. But he had seen Gwyneth go down. Then Terry, who was cutting across the whole thing. If I'm misstating it, we're going to have to defer to their testimony when they testify, but I'm trying to give you a big picture. He's making a wide, much wider turning. And guess what? He's blind in one eye and has decreasing vision in his left eye. He has hearing aids. He's had heart
Wait, which eye is he blind? Which side?
stroke, many other medical conditions. Just weeks earlier, he had told his doctor, I'm feeling old suddenly. And Terry's story, by the way, is that he's coming across and he sees a struggling younger woman, not younger, a struggling female skier. And he wants to be really clear to stay away from her. So he's actually turning his head to clear the beginner skier. And what happens? He comes right upon Gwyneth. He back turns with his better eye, and suddenly she's there. So the Deer Valley report, do you mind? By the way, Deer Valley is not a party to this lawsuit. The court dismissed Deer Valley. So Gwyneth's not Deer Valley. Deer Valley stands on its own.
Objection, argument, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Deer Valley stands on its own.
Overruled one.
I don't know if they're going to assert like there's some massive cover-up or what, but...
Objection, argument.
Sustained.
Okay,
Sustained, 3.
James. By the way, I think the goal is to give everyone a little better access with these little screens, but it hasn't worked out today. So Eric Christiansen, remember, he hears and he turns, and he goes directly over there. He's there within seconds, and he's seen what happened. And what does he say? Can you blow up the first half? Chief complaint, male skier took her out from behind. He's putting this together, and then let's...
2:26:16, 11:55 a.m. Skier, right? Bandana, slight something before flat on top. Number of students, 6 in group. Students' ability, advanced. What instruction was given to the students prior to the incident? I was skiing with 69-year-old son, 9-year-old son. Group was skiing down. Bandana to lunch. Short turns, downfall line on skier right. Okay, I think he's going to read the rest.
Let's do the bottom thing, and then we won't focus on exhibits anymore really today.
Okay.
On this, but first thing male skier said. Does that say said? I can't read it.
This is just, why are you presenting this then? Maybe you just forgot.
But first thing male skier said. Does that say said? I can't read it. Anyone?
Stated.
Anyone? Can anyone bail me out here? Please help me.
Stated was that she appeared right in front of him, thus admitting that he was the uphill skier. She never saw him because he came in from behind.
Okay.
That was the evaluation from the Deer Valley skier, from the Deer Valley instructor. Interestingly, Eric Christiansen, the ski instructor, is trying to figure out, all right, what's the first question, by the way? Everyone okay? Mm-hmm. Everyone okay?
Okay.
Now, they were both, any collision, you take a body blow, it takes a little while to gather your senses, recognize, okay, I'm safe, okay. But his answer was he was okay. And he was on his feet. This took minutes. Gwyneth was not happy still. Moses, who you're going to meet, he's now 16, but he was a 9-year-old at the time. was with his instructor. His instructor started to come over. Moses came over, and he saw his mom, and he was worried. He hadn't seen his mom. First of all, she's on the ground, and she's yelling at this guy. She might have said something like, "What the F word?" And I think she might have said the F word. We're going to figure that out.
Okay.
And she's mad. And he said, "I haven't seen my mom like that." And he was sort of personally a little upset. All right. And then, okay, everyone's okay? Everyone's okay. And Eric Christiansen, the ski instructor, said, a ski patrol person, who's different than the instructor, a ski patrol person came by and said, "Everyone okay?" And he said, "Mr. Sanderson and Craig Ramon, who you're going to meet this afternoon, talked to each other and said, 'We're okay.'" And they said, "We're okay," and the ski patrol left. Okay. All right, now everyone's okay. And then I think Eric Christiansen, okay, Gwyneth, you can go. Join your family. By the way, your family's waiting for her at the bottom. Brad, interestingly, had heard it and looked up and saw his wife on the ground and had come back up, and she had skied down to be with him, not to leave. By the way, you'll never hear the words hit and run in this whole trial. This was not a hit and run. The plaintiffs even had a ski expert evaluate it, and he said it's not a hit and run. So take that out of your mind.
Okay.
All right. So
out of my mind.
All right. Now what's going on? Okay. Everyone's good to go. Everyone went.
Okay.
Terry. Oh, right before he left, apparently.
Oh, wait a second. I forgot something. Okay.
Eric Christiansen said, "Your buddy just took out Gwyneth Paltrow." No one knew who she was. By the way, she had the helmet and goggles and everything. Guess who who denied that? Craig Ramon. Their so-called first skier has a whole different crazy story.
Objection, argument, Your Honor.
That is argument.
Overruled?
Overruled? Or?
Reassert my crazy comment. All right, so I'll continue the story. Everyone's good to go? Good to go. Okay, then they now hear she's Gwyneth Paltrow. And they're like, okay, well, let's ski down. So they ski down a ways further. And Terry, I shouldn't call him Terry, Mr. Sanderson, does not feel good. He feels confused, he says. So you'll hear them like, well, let's get a ski patrol person now. We had previously waved one off, but now we've changed our mind. We need ski patrol. Toboggan person comes named Whitney. And she pulls up, and they...
What's toboggan again? Toboggan? Like a sled thing? Toboggan. Okay, like a sled person. Okay.
And the first thing Whitney says is, "What happened?" And Mr. Sanderson says, "I don't know. I'm not sure." He did not say, "I was just hit." Interestingly, Craig Ramon, the friend, did not correct that statement. So Craig Ramon, by the way, never once told Eric Christiansen she hit him. Didn't say one word about it. Didn't say we need help. Part of this crazy story is he says Mr. Sanderson was out cold for 2 minutes, unconscious. Now, do you know how long it is to look at a person who might be like dead or dying for 2 minutes and not do one thing? He didn't do anything.
True.
It's not true. Everyone on the scene was saying absolutely. If he was out, it was for seconds, not 2 minutes.
Yeah, because if he was out for 2 minutes, that was when you like start panicking and like call for like emergency help, right?
Christiansen's going to just ignore someone who's out cold. He's saying, "I'm okay." He's on his feet. He's declining ski patrol. Very different story than someone who's out cold. I said, "Did you start CPR, like where you check his breathing and stuff?" No, I didn't do any of it. You'll see there are a lot of ridiculous things, I think, about it.
Objection, Your Honor, argument.
Sustained?
Gwyneth didn't have a helmet. He says Gwyneth didn't have a helmet or a face mask or a goggles on her.
Yeah, this part to me doesn't make sense.
She had those things. She doesn't go around skiing. She's safe conscious, and she's probably a little celebrity conscious about, like, I don't do that.
Yeah, I feel like she wouldn't want to be recognized and stuff, especially when she's with her kids and stuff. So I don't know. It'd be kind of weird if she just had her like face exposed out. But yeah.
So anyway, we'll address that this afternoon more. But let me continue the story. So he's on the toboggan. Now, Whitney, this toboggan person's pretty smart. She goes, "Hey, I want you to remember. I'm going to tell you a few things, and I want you to remember them. And they're unique things. We'll get into it later. And at the bottom of the hill, she's checking them, and he remembers all of them. In fact, he's a poster. So he posts a very happy, smiling picture of the toboggan person and a very articulate comment repeating, like she went to Michigan, she won the ski thing, very detailed. And he posts it. Okay, well, that's nice, but it's not something you do if you just suffered a major traumatic brain injury. All right, so articulate, everything.
Okay.
At the bottom, he's talking, he's conversing. This isn't like garbled, crazy talk where you think head injury is important. So, by the way, he takes a picture, so he likes to take pictures and post things on Facebook and everything, of Ramon and one of the women he was skiing with, and they're all smiles. Like you post, you wouldn't know, like this is taken by someone who just suffered a major head collision or something. And boom, it's posted. Okay, great. This is good because we're getting real life things from him and his own fingers in his own head. Then he goes to an Instacare person. The Instacare person says, no signs of confusion. Okay, that's a big issue, right, if we're worrying about. By the way, there's a nurse on your panel, but I take it from our experts that you'll hear that if you hit your head and you say, I have confusion, essentially, you are diagnosed. I mean, you have a concussion. I mean, so maybe it's more than that. I might be simplifying it, and forgive me if I am, because nothing I'm saying is evidence, but I'm trying to give you the story. So the guy there is like, okay, I can't rule out problems, so you should get a CT. A CT is imaging of the brain, and he ends up going to the VA hospital the next day. The CT, it's interesting. So he had a stroke-like event and lost his right eye, like 6 years earlier. So we have imaging of his brain 6 years earlier. And guess what? There are defects in that new CT. But guess what? They were there before.
Ooh.
They were there before. And guess what their experts didn't do? Go back and look to see if the problems in his current imaging is present on his 6-year-old CT.
Oh, no!
It's kind of crazy. They're interviewing him.
Did the experts not know this guy already had a brain imaging scan 6 years ago?
Things. But no one's actually trying to go back and sort of say, look, is his brain different? Okay, you're going to hear from some daughters. By the way, there was reference to 2 daughters. He has 3 daughters. He's on the outs with that daughter. She paints a not that great story about him before the ski accident. Why do we dig into this? No one wants to dig into this. But if a 75-year-old man says, I don't think as well as I used to, my brain doesn't work as well as I used to, I forget things, we have to, which is why we're all here, we have to go back and look at these things. If he says my relationships were harmed by Gwyneth, we have to go back, it's kind of a deep dive, and say, what were your relationships like before this? And it's not pleasant. I mean, like half of the trial is going to be on this kind of stuff, because if someone says, I have a severe $3 million brain injury caused by you, we have I have a lawyer obligation to represent my client and say, what's true? And I'm telling you, he does have confusion. He does have strained relationships. He does forget some things. But guess what? It's a normal aging and his pre-existing problems coming forward and progressing. Back to the story. So Instacare, they say, go get a CT tomorrow. And then he posts, and let's put that up. So he's a poster, okay, big on Facebook. So there are lots of pictures of him, which helps us. It helps us understand him. What does he post to his daughters? I'm famous. He doesn't post I'm hurt. He doesn't post googly gawk. Is that the right word? Confusing stuff.
Wait, what? Googly what?
He doesn't post googly gawk. Is that the right word?
Oh, emojis? No idea.
Confusing stuff. Could you highlight the bottom half? I'm famous. This is at 8 p.m. The accident occurred just before lunch.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, I don't think the I'm famous thing is a big deal. He could just be like, maybe it's just his sense of humor. I don't know. But what's interesting is that
so 8 hours later, he's home. And then he said, here's what happened from my friend and eyewitness, this Craig. And he posts it. He posts it. Wouldn't you be interested to know what this post was in real time? This video or photo, apparently video?
Objection, argument.
Your Honor, that's just
facts.
Just trying to explain the evidence here.
So you've got evidence, this is evidence that will come in?
That it's not there.
Okay. Overruled as to that.
Wouldn't we all like to know, I apologize.
Overruled 3?
Okay? Yes.
Wouldn't we like to know what this was?
Objection, argument, Your Honor.
Sustained?
It's nowhere to be found.
5?
We're in a courtroom 7 years later trying to figure out what happened. It was right there. Nowhere to be found. And then, can you do the top half? This is his daughter. I can't believe this is all on GoPro.
Ooh! Where's the GoPro footage?
I can't believe this is all on GoPro. Where's the GoPro? Do we want it? We want it. It's nowhere to be found. I'm glad you're okay. He's telling his daughters, I'm okay.
I'm famous, ... at what cost? Dad, I cannot believe how unlucky and how crazy this all is. I can't believe this is all on a GoPro. What are the chances? I'm so glad you're okay. How are you feeling this evening? Where is the GoPro? What happened to it?
All right. We're trying to put together a lot of facts. You're going to hear, I don't know, like 20 people are going to come in, half of them medical people, and try to figure this out. It'll be interesting. I think after this trial, you'll go, that was cool, actually. You learned a lot, and you are given to our community. But about half of the information you're going to hear, if you find that Gwyneth did not cause the accident, you can disregard all the damages talk. So we're going to hear a week of evidence on Terry's brain, Mr. Sanderson's brain. But if you find no negligence by Ms. Paltrow, then you can disregard all that.
Your Honor, I object. This is a classic argument.
Sustained.
$1 bill. Gwyneth was hurt by Mr. Sanderson's negligence. When he came up behind her, paralleled her, and went. She says she has a prior knee problem. She was worried about it. She separated from him with help. Then boyfriend came up, and she is upset. She has, anyone sustaining a blow is upset. She's sore. She never went to a doctor, but for this, by the way. But it rattled her, and it physically hurt her. When they were dismissed, they went down to the bottom of the hill. And who was waiting for her? Her daughter, Apple, now 18, then 8, I think. No. 11. Sorry, I got that mixed up. So, and Apple's like, what took you so long? And she said, some a-hole just ran into me. I think she used the real word. All right, why is this important? She didn't say, I just ran into someone. She was mad, and over lunch she was mad. And then after lunch, she said, that guy kind of hurt me, and I'm not going to ski the rest of the day. There's even a...
This is also at a 1.5 speed, so I don't think he says, like, jittery. I don't know. I'll be right back. I'm going to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. 2-minute lunch. 2-minute break. Oh, Steve is so funny. He's sleeping on Dennis's side of the bed on a pillow with the blanket. Such luxury. Okay. All right. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Let's start.
Text from Gwyneth's own phone to Eric Christiansen. And they're like, Moses wants to know if you're coming. I'm going to go in. That guy kind of hurt me. And she went in. And she lost her full day pass that she had paid for, and she only got to ski half a day. In addition, she had paid for her instructor, who now was diverted from teaching her son Moses to take care of this collision issue. And so we ask you for $1. Now, this is a lot to go through for $1, but it's an actual $1 because she had come with her family to enjoy a family vacation.
This is again an argument. This is classic argument.
These are facts.
This is closing argument.
Overruled as to the comments that are being made right now, those are facts?
Overruled?
Yeah, and let's keep the interruptions to a minimum, would we?
Well,
Wait, hold on. Let me go back. The judge overruled his comment or
family vacation.
This is again an argument. This is classic argument.
These are facts.
This is closing argument.
Overruled as to the comments that are being made right now, those are facts?
Yeah, and let's keep the interruptions to a minimum, would we?
Well, counsel, go ahead. I mean, the objections have been valid, some of them.
So she came for a family vacation. Half the afternoon was kind of ruined. And so that dollar is important to us. It's important to my client. Let me hit a few other things. You've been very patient. I think I said, it's hard to unpack someone, a 75-year-old, who says, I don't think as well as I used to. Heaven help me if my daughters were called to the stand and they say, hey, let's talk about all your dad's mental quirks and problems and his physical health and his deterioration as he ages. I wouldn't want to be present for that. It would be hard. And yet, we're here because Mr. Sanderson is making that allegation, and so we have to do it. So I don't want to look like I'm beating up on a kindly old man, but keep in mind we have to do this because they have said Gwyneth owes me $3 million. I mean, we have to address that. So I kind of apologize in advance. Mr. Sanderson threw a press conference, and he said, Gwyneth...
Objection, Your Honor, this is irrelevant.
This is factual.
It's also an argument.
This is factual.
Sustained. There hasn't been... Would you please approach?
Oh, man. We've got more than 10 objections so far. Oh, la, 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 la.
When asked in real time by Gwyneth...
I would have stopped by now, but I just want to see how many objections there are. We're almost done. We're almost done. I just see how many objections there are. I would have stopped maybe 10 minutes ago, but...
He said, I apologize. I'm sorry. When asked by the ski instructor, he said, she appeared right in front of me. And when asked by the toboggan person, he said, I don't remember. I don't know. Or I'm not sure. Mr. Sanderson said his memories of this case get better over the years. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's not how memory works.
Nope, that's not all I want to say about that.
One more comment on damages. Plaintiffs, he was a vet. We salute him for that. He went to the VA, and he went at 1 month, he went at 1 year. And I guess 1 year and 2 months, and 1 year at 3 months. Okay, so 3 different assessments, neuropsych assessments. This is where a smart person is trying to figure out, and he is saying, I'm more confused since the ski accident. Mm-hmm. And they're doing testing on him. These are not hired experts, like many of the people you're going to hear. These are his VA people, and he's complaining, and they're doing assessments.
Oh, is he saying the hired experts are saying something different than what his original doctors were saying?
Assessments on him. And what does he do? Above average, above average, above average, above average, above average. A year and 2 months. High IQ, high verbal comprehension, high perceptive reasoning, working memory is average, processing speed average.
How did this get to trial? I'm so confused.
Overall cognitive ability intact. 1 year and 3 months later, goes to someone else. These are 3 different people. 3 different people. He's alert. His affect is appropriate. His speech is normal. His thought process is logical, linear, and goal-oriented. All good. His perception, no disturbance. Attention, concentration, within normal limits. Recent memory, within normal limits. Remote memory, within normal limits. All normal or above normal. These are not the hired people. Let me just say that.
The hired people, they see something else.
Dangerous and reckless. She's skiing with her 9-year-old son, who's a beginner, just so you know. Dangerous and reckless. You decide. We need your help. The community...
Objection, Your Honor. This is argument again.
Sustained.
Thank you.
8.
Watch me ski. There was a comment, somehow she was distracted. Gwyneth doesn't remember that. The kids don't remember that. But if I guess someone says, hey, look at me, but these aren't like 3-year-olds at a swimming pool. And she is focused. She is not distracted. She got taken out from behind. I mean, that's what happened. And
so what do we learn? Next time y'all go skiing or snowboarding, wear GoPro body cam footage, okay? Just in case anything happens.
his
600 calorie diet? What? No way. No way. No, I don't know anything about Gwyneth Paltrow like that. I only know that she's an Iron Man. Like the Goop stuff, I don't know. I heard that she had a vagina candle. That's about it. But yeah, I don't know any of the other stuff about her.
Posts. So again, we can curse public media or social media, but it does do one thing well, doesn't it? It's like sort of documents people. And he's a poster. So guess what? He went on traveling all over the world after this. After this. Like 10 trips. All over the world.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that. I'm not even talking about the domestic trips, which he did those too. But I'm talking about big, long international trips. He does yoga, he swims, he stays fit. His life is not a disaster.
Your Honor, I object to this argument again.
Overruled?
Our experts, you will hear from them, and I won't go through.
We're almost at 20 objections for this opening statement.
Name by name. Two are Eastfold and Ashkenazi. These are smart people who are.
No way. She lives on bone broth? I mean, I don't know, man. I like to eat more than that, but whatever she want to do. There's this like crazy celebrity weight loss thing that like people are doing. It's like you inject yourself with something. It's also used to treat like diabetes or something. Fuck, I don't remember. But they I was watching this plastic surgeon YouTuber, but celebrities have been injecting themselves with like this thing, and it's like making them like really thin and skinny and like I don't know. Careful.
We're trying to put everything together and are just saying, so he's aging, he has prior problems, and he's now obsessed, essentially, with this lawsuit. I mean, I think the best thing, after this is over, this will be a good thing, win or lose, I think.
Objection, Your Honor. That's your argument.
Sustained?
They will say that. Our experts.
Objection, Your Honor.
Our experts will say that. Is that objectionable?
No.
You've been very kind. I'm going to end here with Lady Justice. So the blindfold you get, we're not going to feel sorry for him. We're not going to make our decision on that.
Okay.
The weighing of evidence.
Oh yeah, the ozemic thing. Yeah.
They have to have more evidence than not. And the sword. We are defending a false allegation, and we need your help. And thank you so much for doing it.
Should be sustained.
I'm done. And
Overruled, just a little attitude there.
that's about 10 overruled objections during my closing, which I think is inappropriate, Your Honor.
Why don't we approach the bench, please?
We have 10 objections sustained and 7 objection overruled. Drama. All right, they go on a lunch break. Judge says a lunch break is provided for the jury, but the jury can go out if they want, and that's about it. Oh, we do have a first witness though. Who is this person?
Walk right over here, sir, and be sworn in as a witness.
All right, hi. I'm not planning to watch this entire thing, but let's just watch a little bit. I'm just kind of curious. I'll be right back. I'm going to heat up something really quick. And Okay. All right. Hello. I thought that lawyer did okay. I know he got a lot of shit in Law and Crime Chat. I thought he did all right. There was some hiccups here and there, Maybe he could have better prepared a little bit, but I thought he did okay. He got the message across. Hi, everyone.
Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give in the case now before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. And then right around over here, sir.
Kind of adjust that to get comfortable, okay? Please state your full name and your home address.
Craig James Ramon.
And how old are you, sir?
58.
Okay. Where did you go to high school?
Oh, so he is the one that may or may not have saw the incident. I don't know. I think he's saying that he saw it, but then the defense attorney was like, oh, what this guy said that he turned around and saw it or something like that. He might have heard it, turned around, and then saw the end result. But I don't know. We'll see.
Cottonwood High School.
And that's in Salt Lake City or Salt Lake County?
Salt Lake.
Okay. And tell us about your work background.
Well, when I was 18, I went to work for a glass company called Natco Glass. Worked there for about a year and a half. And then from there I quit.
I'm just going to forward through his background story. Go straight to the incident.
26
about 6.
6 times?
Yes.
Okay. How would you, excuse me, characterize him in terms of friendship?
He's an acquaintance.
Okay. Is he a good friend?
No. A really steep run, and it was a really narrow, and there's trees on both sides, and it's really narrow and steep and long, and this guy wanted to go down, so he went down, and then I was right behind him, and I went down, and then Terry was right behind me, and then we see down at the bottom, and he got the guy that went down first, he stopped, and then I was right behind him, and Terry was right behind me. I didn't see him skiing, but he was on my tail.
All right. And so, maybe some non-skiers here, like I said. Typically, how do beginners ski?
They ski, well, they snowplow, and then they'll go back and forth across the ski run.
Kind of the whole run sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Did Terry do any of that when you watch him?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen Terry, aside from the day of the crash, collide with anyone?
No.
Have you ever seen him bump into anything at lunch or something like that?
No.
Did you ever hear him complain he can't see?
No.
Okay. Now, did you ever ski with Terry after the ski collision of February 26th?
Yes, I skied with him 2 times the next ski season of it out there.
So that would be the 16-17 ski season, then, right?
Yes.
The December to April, let's say.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
All right, okay. Tell the jury how he skied then.
He was having a hard time. He was snow plowing, and he went up, was kind of skiing with a girl named Robin, and she's here, and he was snow plowing, having a hard time getting down the hill, and he kept asking me and Robin, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And he just, he says, am I planting my poles right? And he just didn't have it, and he just he didn't have it at all. And he wasn't the same skier as he was the previous year.
Okay. Do you know what the rules of the road are for skiing?
Yeah, the first thing is ski under control.
Your Honor, he's not designated as a ski expert.
I'm talking about just as a skier. He has to know that.
Yeah,
just a second. I'm going to overrule it as to this witness's personal knowledge as a skier and not as an expert in the rules of the road for skiing.
Okay. Skiing under control.
Yes.
Okay, what's another rule of the road?
The downhill skier has the right of way.
They sometimes said yield to the downhill skier? Yield?
Yes.
Okay. Because downhill skiers don't have eyes in the back of their head, do they?
No.
Can't see it coming.
No.
Okay, what's another rule of the road?
You never leave an accident. If 2 people collide, you never leave. You wait until you make sure everybody's okay, and then you actually give contact information to each other.
Exchange information.
Yes.
Let's go for it. But I apologize for my cough. I'm getting over a cold. I think so. Anyway. Let's dive into the bandana run on February 26, 2016. Okay. You have a good memory of that day?
Yes.
Okay. And in your meetup group that day, how many were there roughly?
6.
Okay. And who was your ski companion that day?
Pardon me?
Who was your ski companion that day?
Joanne.
Okay. And when you rode up the lifts, did you ride together or separately?
We usually rode together, but sometimes separately. Because there's the lifts, they carry 4 people, and we had 6 people.
Okay. Describe for the jury the kind of day it was, please.
It was a sunny day.
It was a Friday, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. And how was the traffic?
There was quite a few people. It was a busy day.
Okay. Did you go in the same chair, or can you remember if you went in the same chair with Terry before the bandana run?
I don't remember if I went in the same chair.
Okay, that day, was there anything excuse me, that Terry showed you or demonstrated that showed that he was impaired in any way that day?
No.
Okay. Was he bumping into anything?
No.
Was he falling over?
No.
Any other ski problems that day?
No.
Now, to the point where there was a collision, okay, how far down from the top of the lift were you, roughly?
Well, the collision happened, probably, I'm guessing, maybe 200-300 yards down from the top of the lift.
Okay. And how far away were you when you noticed there was a collision from Terry?
Probably about 35-40 feet.
Okay, now, just to show, I know you're on it. Okay, how far away? The record reflected I was at the inner door, not the outer door. Okay. And we're measuring from the witness chair. Now, Mr. Ramon, see where I was standing with that door back there?
Yes.
And you had the end that showed the measurement, right?
Yes.
43 feet?
Yes.
Okay. Tell the jury if that's about the distance it was away from the point of impact.
Yes, so that's about right.
At any time that you saw Terry that day, was he doing anything other than parallel skiing?
No.
All right. Tell the jury, if you would, what you saw and heard that day at approximately 11:45 a.m. on February 26, 2016.
Tell us, Mr. Ramon.
We were skiing down the bend, down the run, and then I heard this yell, this scream, and then I looked over, and then about maybe 1 or 2 seconds, and then I heard the scream, and then I see this skier just slam into the back of Terry, and she just slammed him.
How hard?
Very hard. Very hard. And so Terry, she hits him right directly in the back.
Wait. Let me slow down.
And then I see this skier, and then I heard the scream, and then maybe 1 or 2 seconds, and then I heard the scream, and then I see this skier just slam into the back of Terry, and she just slammed him.
How hard?
Very hard. Very hard. And so Terry, she hits him right directly in the back, and so then his skis are like, when you're skiing like this. His skis actually, the tips go out like this, and he falls face down. So he's kind of spread eagle, and he goes face down, and Gwyneth's on the top of him, and they go down like this, and then Gwyneth hits him, and then bounces off and slides to the right about 5 or 10 feet.
Total different accounts. Oh my God.
Now, at the time, you didn't know it was Gwyneth, did you?
No.
Found that out later.
Yes.
So the skier that hit him from behind hit him hard.
Yes.
And Terry goes down. Does he stop abruptly?
Yes.
Okay. And how loud was the scream?
It was loud.
How much time elapsed between the time you heard the scream and saw the...
I mean, it's possible what he's saying is that maybe she was skiing. She knew she was about to collide into him. She screams and then boom, collides. And that's what he saw. It makes sense.
The collision.
About a second or two.
Okay. Now, I'd like to ask you...
I don't know. They need to really get into more details. Because what if he heard the scream and she'd already been hit, and maybe when she was hit, maybe I don't know, maybe they rotated a little bit. Didn't they mention that they're kind of on their side or something like that and they fell? Maybe they rotated a little bit, and then maybe from the rotation, he thought that she was the one that slammed into him. But I don't know. I mean, he kind of did mention that he saw her slam. I don't know. They need to clarify. Did you see her slam into him? Slam into him? Or was their body already in contact?
To tell the jury... and by the way, describe... Excuse me for the cough. Describe what happened to the two bodies after you saw the collision, briefly.
So the two bodies. So Terry stops, and then Gwyneth kind of slides down about 5 or 10.
On top of him or the side or what?
No, she bounced off the top of him, and then she slid down to the right side, and she slid down about 5 or 10 feet, and so here's basically downhill. Terry's here, and Gwyneth's right here.
What did you do?
I skied down, and then I went on to the left side of Terry.
Were you uphill or downhill from Terry?
I was uphill.
Uphill?
Well, I was down.
bit?
I was uphill, but then when I stopped, I was downhill. I was about equal with Gwyneth, and so Terry was when Terry went down, Gwyneth slid to the down 5 or 10 feet, and I came to the other side, and then I skied down and I was down about 5 or 10 feet, and so Gwyneth and I were basically, when she got up, we were facing each other.
How far away?
I would probably say maybe 10 feet.
Okay. Now, how long did it take you to get over there to that scene?
Oh, just a second or two.
Okay. All right. And aside from Gwyneth, we now know it was Gwyneth, didn't know at the time, and Terry, was there anybody else at the scene when you arrived? Anybody else at all?
No.
Okay. What did you do when you got to the scene? Tell the jury.
Well, when I got there, I just was asking Terry, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And Terry, he wasn't moving. His face was actually in the snow, and his arms are out like this, and I mean his helmet's stuck kind of in the snow. And so I'm asking him, and then Gwyneth gets up.
Would have been bad for him to like approach his friend and flip him over, or do you like not want to touch him in case something happened, right? In case he broke his neck or something like that. But his face is like in the snow though.
And then I'm asking her, "Are you okay?" And then from there,
Let me stop you there for a second. From there.
I also want to know, like, when did Sanderson file charges against Gwyneth Paltrow? Because this happened in 2016. We're in 2023 right now. Like, when were charges filed?
At that time, did Gwyneth Paltrow, we now know it was her, say anything at all, utter any words at all to you?
No, I asked her if she was okay, and she just looked at me, and then I asked her again.
She's standing up or down on the ground?
She was standing up. She got up pretty quick.
Did she talk to anyone else?
No.
Who came over?
No.
The entire time she was there, 4 minutes or so, whatever it was.
Never said a...
Did she say anything, any words come out of her mouth?
No.
Right. Oh my God.
No.
Don't make me choke on my food.
What did Terry say, if anything?
He wasn't talking. I mean, he didn't even start moving for probably a couple of minutes.
Was he unresponsive or was he responsive?
No, he was unresponsive.
Okay. Now, a few seconds after you got there, did someone else arrive, and who?
Yeah, it's Eric. He showed up.
Eric Christensen.
Yes.
Spelled Christiansen, but he says Christensen, right?
I'm not sure.
You don't know. Okay. Now, did Mr. Christensen ever introduce himself to you?
No.
You didn't know his name?
No.
Tell the jury how he was dressed.
He had a green Deer Valley coat on, so he was an employee.
Tell the jury, then, what happened over the next 30 to 45 seconds. Tell the jury.
Well, he came up, and he came up to the left of me, and then he starts yelling at Terry, and he's like, "What'd you do? What did you do?" And Terry's not moving. He's just not. He's not moving. His face down, and he keeps saying, "What did you do?" And so it got, and he was yelling when he came down.
Isn't that like a weird way to treat someone though? Like the guy was face down, and then you're going to be yelling at him. Unless this Christensen guy's real a fucking asshole.
But then it just kept getting worse and worse. Kept getting higher and higher. And it's like, "What did you do?" And so I was
now, before you go any further,
okay.
Describe for the jury the level of hostility that you observed from a green-jacketed Eric Christensen toward Terry on the ground.
He was very hostile.
Describe it.
He would just.
I mean, it's possible that this ski instructor could be a major simp for Gwyneth Paltrow, maybe. But I don't know. I just feel like normal people just wouldn't really act like that. But especially if the guy's like face down in the snow, you kind of like flip him over and maybe like yell him, right? If the guy looks like he's like unconscious, like to be yelling at them seems really pointless to me.
Yelling, and he was yelling to the point where I was thinking, I didn't say anything, but I was thinking to myself, man, you need to mellow out here. And so I got to the point where I was tired of it. I was concerned about Terry. Terry's not.
But I'm not really getting red flags about this witness. His story, there are some red flags, but like, I don't know. He seems genuine to me, but I wonder how long ago he was contacted to recall all of this. Because this happened in 2016. And, if the stuff was filed like, a couple years ago, like what if he has like, doesn't have a great memory of what happened? What if a lot of these people don't have great memory of what happened?
Moving, and so then I ended up. He was down a little bit lower than I was, so I just moved a few feet in front of him. So he was be yelling right at me, and then when I did that, he stopped yelling at him.
Did the level of hostility concern you as a person?
Yes. Well, Terry was out. I mean, he was, and I was concerned about, Terry was, what was wrong with Terry, and I just was, I didn't know how bad he was hurt. I didn't. And when he was yelling, I was it just made me I didn't know what to think. I didn't know, just the way he was yelling. But I was very concerned about Terry.
But when you stayed in between them, he calmed down.
Yes, he stopped talking totally.
Okay, tell us what else Christensen said in that sequence.
So that's correct here, Your Honor.
Sustained?
Did you at some point did you learn the name of the skier that hit Terry?
Yes.
Okay, and how did you learn that name?
Well, she ended up taking off and going down, and then she went down, and then she
How far?
From where she was standing, she probably went down about 15, 20 feet.
Okay.
And
stopped.
And she came around and stopped, and then Eric said Gwyneth Paltrow just took out your buddy, and
I'm sorry, he said what?
He said Gwyneth Paltrow just took out your buddy.
Oh, your buddy took out Gwyneth Paltrow? What did Christensen say?
Your Honor, let's make sure the witness is testifying and not the lawyer.
I'll be finished. That's the question. And I'm talking about a res gestae event here. What did you hear at that scene at that time in this excited condition? What did you hear and from whom?
Well, he told me that Gwyneth Paltrow.
That's the res gestae, Judge.
Is it overruled?
Thank you.
Yeah, Eric told me that Gwyneth Paltrow took out Terry.
Gwyneth Paltrow took out Terry?
Yes.
Okay. Was he accusing Terry of taking out Gwyneth Paltrow too?
No.
Okay, all right.
Wait, what? Wait, so the Eric Christensen guy who was just blasting the dude that was on the ground face down later on says, "Oh, well, Gwyneth Paltrow took down your friend Terry." Wait, I'm so confused. That doesn't make sense to me.
Stop.
And she came around and stopped, and then Eric said Gwyneth Paltrow just took out your buddy, and
I'm sorry, he said what?
He said Gwyneth Paltrow just took out your buddy.
Oh, your buddy took out Gwyneth Paltrow? What did Christensen say?
Your Honor, let's make sure the witness is testifying and not the lawyer.
I'll be finished.
What's the question?
Yeah. And I'm talking about a res gestae event here. What did you hear at that scene at that time in this excited condition? What did you hear and from whom?
Well, he told me that Gwyneth Paltrow.
Because the guy's opening statement, this lawyer's opening statement said that this guy said, Eric Christensen said that your buddy just took out Gwyneth Paltrow. But now this guy's saying, no, he said that Gwyneth Paltrow took out my buddy. But honestly, that doesn't make sense to me because why would the guy be yelling at the so-called victim, but then later on be like, yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow took out your buddy? I'm so confused.
That's res gestae, Judge.
Is it overruled?
Thank you.
Yeah, Eric told me that Gwyneth Paltrow took out Terry.
Gwyneth Paltrow took out Terry?
Yes.
Okay. Was he accusing Terry of taking out Gwyneth Paltrow too?
No.
Okay, all right.
Wait, I'm so confused. Oh no, did the lawyer get it mixed up or did this guy change his story? What happened?
At this time and before Miss Paltrow left the scene. Okay.
Because, okay, let me start over. This lawyer is a lawyer for the plaintiff who is suing Gwyneth Paltrow. In his opening statement, from what I remembered, he said that Gwyneth Paltrow's ski instructor yelled at Terry, the guy who was hit, while Terry was face down, right? And then later on said, your buddy just took out Gwyneth Paltrow. Unless I'm remembering correctly. But now, this witness is going on the stand saying, no, the ski instructor yelled at me saying, Gwyneth Paltrow just took out your buddy. And then the lawyer's like, okay, but did the guy also say that your buddy took out Gwyneth Paltrow? Witness, no. But he didn't say that? We're getting confused. Should we go back to opening statements?
Talking about a res gestae event here. What did you hear?
Hello? 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 Can you guys hear me? Okay. My audio just updated itself. It force updated. Let me make sure the audio is good. Audio looks good. Okay. Audio should be good. Let's listen. You got it? Prosecution totally flipped the story? Yeah. Oh, Lord.
In this excited condition. What did you hear from whom?
Well, he told me that Gwyneth Paltrow.
That's res gestae, Judge.
Overruled?
Thank you.
Yeah, Eric told me that Gwyneth Paltrow took out Terry.
Gwyneth Paltrow took out Terry?
Yes.
Okay. Was he accusing Terry of taking out Gwyneth Paltrow, too?
No.
Okay, all right.
Are you sure?
Did, at this time and before...
Should we go find it real quick? What if we're all remembering incorrectly? What if remembering incorrectly? Ah, shit, I don't... This guy's opening statement. This guy.
Can you get ski patrol here? This guy's been hit. He's hurt. Get skies down. Ramon says, "Dang, forgot how to ski." But he can, leaving Sanderson skiing straight to the bottom, following Paltrow's group, leaving Sanderson and Ramon alone at the crash site.
Oh, it's the other lawyer that did opening statement.
Right. Sanderson is standing but hunched over, mumbling. And Ramon says, "Do you think you can ski?" "I think so." Sanderson tries but skis poorly.
No, it's like a little bit before this.
Christensen and stands him up closer to Sanderson, picks him up by his hands, and stands him up. Snow is caked in Sanderson's goggles. Christensen turns his skis down the mountain and he bolts, skiing straight to the bottom, following Paltrow's group, leaving Sanderson and Ramon alone at the crash site. Sanderson is standing but hunched over, mumbling.
That's like before this.
"Do you my ribs?" She doesn't say a word, and she slides a few feet down the hill. Terry moves a little and groans, "My ribs." Paltrow turns away and bolts down the mountain to the bottom. Christensen turns to Ramon. "Do you realize your buddy just took out Gwyneth Paltrow?"
Okay, yep, they mixed it up. No, is it going to be a big deal? I don't think so. But
Paltrow turns away and bolts down the mountain to the bottom. Christensen turns to Ramon. "Do you realize your buddy just took out Gwyneth Paltrow?"
okay, all right. That's why this lawyer is like, "Are you sure? Like it wasn't the other way around?" No, no. Okay.
Before Miss Paltrow left the scene, okay, did she offer her name?
No.
Okay. Did she offer any contact information?
No.
Did she offer any identifying information?
No.
Okay. Did she ask if Terry was okay?
No.
Did she ask if Terry was hurt?
No.
Did she ask if anyone needed any kind of help?
No.
Did she ask if she could leave the scene?
No.
Okay. Now, you said she skied down a little bit. Tell the jury what happened then. After she skied down the hill 20 feet or so, like you said, what happened then?
Yeah. So that's. So she stopped, and then that's when I backed up, and I backed up, and that's when I backed up, and then was gonna go down and check on her, and then she just bolts and just takes off. And
Where'd
then
she go?
She just went straight down, and then there was just went straight down, and there was a guy and a kid that was, I believe, was with Gwyneth, and they actually stopped about 25 feet above us. On Terry's right side, so they were basically above Gwyneth, about 25 feet.
Okay.
And so she takes off, and then the kid actually comes down, and then he goes on the right side of Terry, and then the guy, he came on the left side of Terry, and he skied right next to me, and he's looking at me, just goes real slow, and he's looking at me and looking at me in the eye.
Adult or the kid?
The adult,
Oh, okay.
the adult comes by and gives me and just is giving me this really dirty look, and I was like, oh, I don't know, why you give me a dirty look? And he just slowly just skied by me, and then they both took off right after Gwyneth.
Did the mountain host, Mr. Christensen, ever tell you that he saw what happened? He saw the impact. Did he ever tell you that?
No, I asked him, but no, he did not.
Let me show you Exhibit 3.
Exhibit 3, not show it to the jury until statement, Mr. Owens. Okay, defense exhibit 3 is received.
Okay, now
This is not a cross-examination. This is a direct examination. Go away. Sorry.
I don't know. Can I have my pointer? I use my pen as a pointer.
Okay.
Here and take a look at it. You see the timer?
Yeah.
Can you read that? Or do I read it for you?
Yeah, can you read it for me?
Okay. That should work. Shouldn't it? Okay.
Oh, okay. So Eric Christensen on the incident description says, I didn't see it, but I heard her scream as she went down. I didn't see it, but I heard her scream as she went down. I skied directly to her. The man was behind her. Both were in disconnect. During lunch, she talked of being something.
Did he tell you orally that he didn't see it too?
Yes.
Okay. Now, look at this. I ask you. I'm going to read this to you. This is kind of hard to read. Stated was that she appeared. I can't read that. She appeared. Can anybody read that? That word here? Right. There you go. Thank you. You're right. Okay. I'll read that again. Excuse me. Okay. He appeared right in front of her. Now, stop right there for a minute. The male skier is Terry Sanderson, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the male skier, yes.
Did you ever hear?
So I think this has been misread. if we're going to read it, let's
Did you misread it, Mr. Lawyer?
read it correctly.
I think you can bring
Or
that
did
up,
the other guy misread it?
Go ahead, Mr. Sykes.
I'll read it again. First thing the male skier stated was that she appeared right in front of him. Okay? Now, I think I'm reading that correctly. Question for you, Mr. Ramon. Did the male skier, i.e. Terry Sanderson, ever say anything like is reported here?
No.
Okay? And then he says, thus admitting that he was the uphill skier. See that? Did Terry Sanderson ever say he was the uphill skier?
No, he did not. He never said that.
Who was the uphill skier from what you saw?
Gwyneth was.
Okay.
Yeah, but how are they going to really prove that? There's too much he said, she said.
She never saw him because he came in from behind. Is that an accurate statement?
No.
I think that goes to the credibility of the statement.
I think it's okay as a preface in his question.
No. Some have claimed that Miss Paltrow was at the scene for 8 minutes. What is your recollection of how long she was there?
She was there for probably 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. How long was the mountain host there?
Probably about 7, 8 minutes.
Okay. Now let me ask you about Mr. Christensen, and ask you if any of these things happened. Did he offer any contact information for Gwyneth Paltrow?
No.
Did he ask for your contact information?
No.
Did he ask if Terry Sanderson was okay?
No.
Did he ask?
Okay, so that's his side of the version. Let's watch.
Faces down, and so he needed to, and then his skis are out like this, and his face is down, and so he needed to kind of get his skis back, and so he ended up lifting his right ski up, I believe, and then moving it to the other side so his skis would be parallel. And if I would have been thinking straight, I would have taken his skis off for him, but I didn't, and I just wasn't thinking. I just wasn't thinking, and so then he gets his skis, so his head is face downhill, but his skis are still up. His face is downhill and his skis are uphill, and so then he slowly is just trying to move around and get his skis so they're downhill, so that way he can get up.
Okay, so this is the witness. That's his side of the fence. Let's watch a little bit of cross-examination.
If you need to take off a jacket or loosen it.
It's a long statement several years ago. True?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, this is cross-examination.
Yeah. Yes.
It encompassed about 300 pages of transcript. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Did you once, in that deposition, say that Eric Christensen told you that Gwyneth took Terry out?
No.
Did you say that today?
No. What I meant to say, I get dyslexic when I get nervous. No, he said that your buddy just took out Gwyneth.
All right. I was a little confused by some of the questioning. Okay.
Okay.
So Christensen always said your buddy took out Gwyneth Paltrow, right?
Yes.
All right. Did you correct him?
No.
Wouldn't that be the perfect time to say, you are incorrect, sir?
I wasn't. He was yelling, and I didn't want to get into an argument with him.
You had.
Did you finish?
Yeah, I didn't want to have a conversation with him.
So there's the Deer Valley representative, true?
Yes.
And he's told you what he believes happened, true?
Yes.
And you didn't say a word?
No.
But 7 years later, you're saying it now, right?
Saying what?
That Gwyneth took out your buddy, not the other way around.
No, but he didn't. No, Gwyneth, Terry. What Eric said was your buddy took out Gwyneth. That's what he said.
No, what you're saying.
I never said that Terry took out Gwyneth.
But you chose not to correct him.
No.
Okay, and now let's turn to. Yes.
Oh, this is already at 1.5. Oh God.
Is received?
You know what? Same day. I'm talking same day.
The same day as which day?
Same day as the collision.
No, there was no video.
Did
With
you
a GoPro.
see that Terry? I should keep saying Mr. Sanderson, so I mean no disrespect to Mr. Sanderson. Mr. Sanderson recorded something from his friend and eyewitness and sent it to his daughters.
Yes. Talk about
This
this.
is Defense 102. Do you know what he's talking about there?
I have no idea.
You were his friend that was there and claimed to be an eyewitness, true?
Yes.
You're the only one.
Yes. I don't know. I believe so.
There wasn't another. I should say you were the only friend there in terms of prior knowledge of Terry Sanderson, true?
Prior knowledge.
At the collision site. I mean, Gwyneth didn't know him. Christensen didn't know him.
No.
Moses didn't know him, right?
Yes, I was the only one that knew him.
So something Terry Sanderson sent to his daughters said, "I'm famous." And just so you know, we do have an expert defense finder for the witness, and maybe you could track that down. This is kind of. Can you crank your neck and see what I'm talking about here? Are you able to read it from there? Okay.
Yeah, it seems like they weren't able to get a hold of this GoPro footage.
I object. There's no foundation for him to comment on what Terry said or didn't say or Senator didn't say. There's no foundation.
Yeah. Like overruled, I'd like to hear the question.
Man, no one had a GoPro on that day?
So 102, this is so you don't have to crank your neck. Terry Sanderson sent to his daughters something from you.
No.
Overruled?
No, sir.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yes, I'm seeing if you know anything about this document.
No, I don't know anything about any videos.
Here's what happened from my friend and eyewitness, and then something. You don't know what that is.
No, I have no idea.
Oh, so they're saying that. Wait, I missed that. Here's what happened from my friend and eyewitness. Wait, this guy had the GoPro camera? What? I completely missed that. Oh, and they're saying that are you the guy that was the friend and the eyewitness? Because you're the only one that was a friend to him, and that was also an eyewitness. So are you the one who sent the GoPro thing? Oh, the plot thickens.
No, sir.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yes, I'm seeing if you know anything about this document.
No, I don't know anything about any videos.
Here's what happened from my friend and eyewitness, and then something.
Yikes.
You don't know what that is.
No, I have no idea.
Let's go to the top of Defense 102. Now, his daughter responds something to the effect of, "I can't believe this is all on GoPro." Do you know what that's referencing?
I have no idea.
You've never seen a.
I thought Terry had the GoPro too, but it seems like maybe this guy had the GoPro. He looks trustworthy to me though, but yeah, I don't know. You never know. You never know.
GoPro, have you?
I know what a GoPro is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Of this exact case, of this collision. All right. Let's now go to Defense 87, which is the photograph.
which has been received.
So in that binder, Mr. Ramon, if you go, do you see the little stickers? There's one called D87, unless you can personally see this yourself. May I assist you?
You may.
It's not hard. So I'm going by these stickers.
That's Joanne.
And that's at the first aid station at the bottom of the hill?
I'm guessing. I'm not sure.
All right, I think it was Terry that produced this, so we can ask him.
Well, it's just a little odd because he is supposedly the only person to see Gwyneth Paltrow collide into his friend. His friend was out of it. Seems like the friend didn't know what the heck happened. Gwyneth Paltrow says, I remember everything. So now we have this GoPro footage that it seems like he might have been the one that had it and then sent it to Terry. And then Terry sent it to family in an email saying, I'm famous, ... I don't know. It's kind of tough.
Does that look like you skiing that day?
Yes.
All right. If Mr. Sanderson himself says, I took this picture, do you dispute it?
No, I kind of remember that photo.
You were all smiles there, it looks like. True?
Yeah, but I don't know when that photo was taken.
And so I'm assuming I'm going to represent to you, and it's an admitted exhibit that I was at the first aid station. So let's, well, it's a stipulated exhibit.
I mean, because they're smiling for a picture, I don't think it's a big deal. But why are they taking a picture there, though? Why are they taking a picture and smiling with this person? I'm just confused.
Is it not? Yes, it's not where it is. Well, we'll wait till Mr. Christensen, Mr. Sanderson testifies then. Okay. Do you dispute that this was taken at the bottom of the first aid station?
I don't know where it was taken.
Was she one of your skier friends that day?
Yes.
Wait, you don't remember where it was taken? Okay. Maybe, it's been a couple years.
And I can take it you felt comfortable enough leaving Terry that you could go complete your ski day, right?
No, when we left him,
we do more runs.
We went back to the truck. But Joanne actually did not want to ski after that, and so we just went back to the truck. We actually had to go up a couple lifts to get back to the truck because we were on the other side.
Okay, let's start way back for a minute. Do you remember some questions about someone gave us the idea that Ms. Paltrow, from the time of the collision until the time that she left, was about 8 minutes? Do you remember that question on direct?
No, she was only there for 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. That's your testimony, is that she was only there 3 or 4 minutes?
Yes.
And that's from collision to, so whenever you're ready, collision to, and if you could highlight it and make it bigger. Your Honor.
It was 8.
I object to showing the deposition to the jury. You can read from it, but it's not an exhibit. It can't be shown to the jury.
That said, she was there from collision to leaving for 8 to 10 minutes. Yes or false? True or false?
Oh, Your Honor.
I don't want an objection, Your Honor.
You don't have to decide if he objects.
That's
okay?
True. That is
All
true.
right. So, Mr. Sykes, let's just hear what the witness's answer is. I think it's a proper question.
But I don't think you should be interrupting the witness and dictating what he says.
Well, let me just instruct you. This is a cross-examination. It's not like a normal conversation between two people. And the questioner is entitled to ask questions that call for a yes or no response. If you can't answer it with a yes or a no, just indicate that. Just say, I really can't answer that with a yes or no. No.
Sorry.
Did you hear everything?
Oh, no! Oh, my God. Elaine-san, here we go. I don't think I was saying anything important. Just me and my dumb commentary.
I just said...
No, I thought you were talking to him. I'm sorry.
I'm just laughing right now because the guy didn't know the judge was talking to him. So the guy was like looking this way. The judge is talking to them. The guy's like, oh, wait, shit, you're talking to me? Okay. Yeah, okay.
So this is cross-examination. This is not a normal conversation.
Okay.
And the questioner is entitled to ask you questions that require you to answer with a yes or no. Or if you can't answer it with a yes or no, just tell him, I really can't answer that with a yes or no. And then he'll ask a different question. Okay. And if there's more to be asked on that topic, the other side will have an opportunity to follow up later with you.
Okay.
Have you
Yeah, I was listening to I don't want an objection, Your Honor. But there was too much crossfire going on, so I wasn't sure what was happening.
previously testified under oath years ago that the time that elapsed from collision to Ms. Paltrow leaving the scene was 8 to 10 minutes? True or false?
I can't answer that.
My youth commentary. Oh, I'm so youthful.
Do you need to be reminded? We could pull up your deposition transcript. If you
Okay, I don't think this guy's lying. I just think that maybe he just has bad memory. But the GoPro thing is shady. But we don't know if he's really the one that had the GoPro and stuff.
If the answer is you need to be reminded, I'm happy to do that. Would you like me to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't patronize him.
You can show him a copy of his deposition and have him look at it.
So this is the physical copy of the transcript.
The witness just looks really nervous. Someone give him some water. He's gulping a lot.
We're in the cross-examination, so you can go ahead and show the witness.
Read your deposition, like before.
Position.
That question. Could you go ahead and read your transcript and?
I believe if you scroll down, it.
Why don't you ask him? Why don't you specify the line number, counsel, and have him read it?
Page 139. I have to
Yes.
read. Can I read the question on page
yes.
139, line 24? Are you there?
Yes.
From the time Gwyneth stood up to the time she skied away, how much time was there? And your answer. Go ahead and read it.
Sorry,
Okay, you got this. You got this. You might need his glasses. Someone get him some glasses.
Yeah, and so it.
I'm going to read the question again. From the time Gwyneth stood up to the time she skied away, about how much time went by there? Read your answer on lines 2-3 and 4.
Yeah, so it says here from the time she stood up until and then that's blocked out, and it says I don't know. Something was blocked out, and then it was cut off, and it says I don't know.
Keep going. Just start reading.
It says maybe 10 minutes, and then that's blocked off, and so it doesn't.
Line 6. Is it 8 to 10 minutes? And what was your answer on line 8? Are you reading this?
Yes, I am.
What is it? Line.
Is this real trial?
8 say the 3 words there.
I don't. Okay, it says about 8 minutes.
Thank you. Your Honor.
That could
Oh my God, spicy.
take place on redirect.
Which has already been ruled on. Okay. Let's start from scratch here.
Shit, I thought Harpoolian was spicy. Harpoolian is milk toast compared to this guy. Can you read?
Terry was your Facebook buddy, true?
He was on Facebook.
And you were friends with him?
Acquaintance.
So on Facebook, friends means friends. You're a friend of his on Facebook, or do we have to
There's
pull
people
that
that
up?
have 1,000 different friends on Facebook. I don't even.
Do we have to pull it up? We've got it.
Well, you can pull it up if you like. I don't even go on Facebook.
So the way this works is I ask a question.
Okay.
And if you say yes, we go on. And if you say no, then we pull it up.
Okay. Yes. We're on Facebook.
You're friends on Facebook.
Yes.
Okay.
You're colorblind, true?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay.
In your deposition, you didn't say somewhat.
Yes. Sorry.
So one rule of the court is we can't talk over each other. So I'll complete my full question, then you complete your full answer. You're colorblind.
Yes.
And you don't know the color, the outfit, for instance, Miss Paltrow was wearing that day, true?
True.
And you don't know the color that Terry was wearing that day, true?
True.
Wait a second. Is Terry a small dude? How tall? Ooh, ooh.
And when they collided, it looked like one person going down. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, then how would he have known who slammed into who?
You were on the other end of this courtroom about that far, true?
Yes.
But you're not just focused on Terry, true?
I was focused on Terry. Well, now could you please repeat that?
Sure. You weren't just focused on Terry, right? That's not.
No, that's false.
You were just focused on Terry?
I was focused on. Yes, I was focused on Terry.
Only on Terry at the top of the hill. I'm just going to watch Terry. Is that your?
No, no.
Okay, you're focused on other things too.
Yes.
All right.
I'm focused on Terry. Just Terry. Got my eyes on you, Terry.
You have not been in the workforce for 10 years, true?
True.
You spent about half.
I just want to let you guys know, when I watch the trial by myself, I'm like, this is exactly how reactive I pause it, I'd laugh my ass off, and then I hit the play button.
You're scuba diving and about half skiing.
Yeah, you got this, witness. You got
True.
this.
False.
What did you say? Traveling and scuba diving. Half. Skiing half.
False.
Okay, but that is That's how you spend your time, those activities?
True.
And Terry, strike that. Mr. Sanderson, he traveled internationally quite a bit too, didn't he?
Well, I can't answer that.
Do you know how many international trips he went on after the ski collision?
I can't answer that.
Do you know of any?
No.
He wasn't invited. Oh,
During these 6 or so days that you had skied with Mr. Sanderson before, that usually involves, for instance, having lunch together. Is that fair?
No.
Frequently?
Yes.
Yes. So that's time one-on-one, having a burger or something in the mid-lodge, right?
That's false.
Okay, tell me how it's false.
We're in a group of people.
All right. And then sometimes after skiing, you guys would go get some drinks and talk. Fair?
I can't answer that.
After skiing, would you guys go get drinks together or eat together during those 6 visits? Did you ever do that?
Yes.
And one of those times was just one-on-one with the two of you. True?
False.
And one of those was just one-on-one with you. And your answer?
Skiing? False.
Okay. How about after the collision? Did you do that one-on-one sometimes?
No. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, yes. After the collision.
And you did not observe anything unusual about him, emotionally, physically. True?
False.
Oh, okay. So we'll pull that up here in just a minute. You knew that Terry had a bad eye. I'm using quotes around that because I'd say Mr. Sanderson.
True.
You knew he was 70 years old. True?
False.
You didn't know exactly, but you knew he was about 70 years old.
True.
When you were skiing down that day, you heard a noise.
True.
You didn't know if it was a male or female voice. True?
True.
And you turned to look. True?
True.
One of the things you were doing while skiing, hopefully, is trying to take care of yourself to make sure you don't actually crash into someone. Is that fair?
True.
This is in, let's say, the 1 minute before the ski collision. You're focused primarily, I assume, on enjoying.
I think he's just really nervous. And he's just getting a little confused and mixed up.
Your day.
True.
And is it true there was moderate ski traffic that day?
True.
At the time I deposed you, you didn't know the name of it. Is that fair?
True.
You were a snowbird guy, really?
True.
And you bragged like I had 150 days skiing, right? The year before. Did you tell me like you had skied 150 days previously in 1 year?
True.
Now, when you heard a noise, that's what drew your attention to Terry.
True.
Terry was wearing a helmet. True?
True.
The person he collided with was not wearing a helmet. Is that true? That's your memory?
I don't know.
Did you tell me she was not wearing a helmet?
Oh no.
I'm not sure. I don't remember what she was wearing.
Oh no.
Do you remember previously testifying that you knew she was not wearing a helmet?
I'm not sure what she was wearing. If you look through the deposition.
Sir, listen to my question.
I'm sorry.
Did you previously tell me under oath that she was not wearing a helmet?
I can't answer that.
And why can't you?
Because
why can't you tell me that whether you previously told me that?
That she was not wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention to what she was wearing.
What? Ah, but you said that you were paying attention to what she was wearing, right? She was not wearing a helmet, not wearing goggles and stuff. Oh no. Oh no.
She was not wearing a helmet. I mean, did you tell me that previously?
I don't think so.
Oh God. Wait, who said oh boy? The boy. Is he making comments? Only I'm allowed to make comments.
I'm going to make a note of these things. Well, let's go to page 63.
Oh
James, I
no.
think we're going to have to do that.
I mean, maybe when they asked him these questions, it was a very long time ago and he forgot.
Okay.
I'm 50, 60. That's. Or James, can you just say exactly?
It says, yeah, there it says, and when I questioned you about a year and a half ago, you said she was not wearing a helmet.
Oh, a year and a half ago. Oh, wait, how do you not remember this then? A year and a half ago? It was still a very long time since 2016 happened. So he remembered it a year and a half ago, but then now he doesn't remember it? I don't know. Oh, a lot of inconsistencies.
Remember that, yes.
And your answer was yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's keep going. Thank you. And she was not wearing goggles either. True?
I can't answer that.
Sir, did you read your deposition before this?
Yes.
Like how many days ago?
Yes, I didn't know what she was. I can't remember what she was wearing.
Can you say that? 64 at the top? 4. So is your best memory she was not wearing a helmet? What was your answer?
Yes.
And she was not wearing goggles? And you said?
Yes.
How does he not
No, it
remember
doesn't say that.
now?
Oh,
no.
Line 5? And she was not wearing goggles?
And she was not wearing goggles, no.
And I said, is that right? And you said?
Yes.
And she was not wearing any facial covering?
No.
Is that your testimony? That she had no goggles, no helmet, and no facial, nothing covering her face at the time of the collision? Is that your testimony today?
I can't answer that.
Oh, man. This is the plaintiff's first witness. This is not looking good.
All right. You previously testified under oath, true?
Yes.
Okay. I think we're done for a minute. Done, right?
Yes.
Not. So I should.
I see. When it's icy, you can go down the hill with ice skates, and this was very, very firm.
So good conditions, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It could show that his memory is not reliable.
Do you recall that
Did you
from
really
the time
see-
you heard a scream, you can't tell male or female, you
What did
looked,
it crash into,
and in a
Terry?
split second, then is when you then were upon the collision site, true? Your eyes?
Yes, it was about 1 or 2 seconds.
So in the deposition, you said split second. Do you recall those terms?
No.
Split second. Do we have to look it up, or are you going to deny it?
A second or two.
Objection here. This is improper use of the deposition. He's supposed to ask the question, get the answer, and then show him the deposition and see if that reflects his recollection.
So the objection is improper impeachment.
This is exactly what I learned in law school, Your Honor. You ask the question, you make sure you have to look it up, and then you look it up.
Go ahead.
Today I hear you saying 1 to 2 seconds between the scream and the collision.
Yes.
But in your deposition, you told me split second. Do
Oh,
you agree or
no.
disagree?
He forgot?
I could have.
Had memory?
Agree or disagree?
Overruled?
I would agree.
Okay, thank you. Now, is this your testimony? She plowed into him, and he went spread eagle, head down. True?
Yes.
Hands out, skis out.
Yes.
His skis stayed on,
Yes.
and she went right over him, spread eagle, head down.
No, she was on his back, and then.
Her head's downhill. True?
Yes. Yes.
And then she slid on top of him. That's your testimony.
Yeah.
And is that true?
Yes.
And then when they came to arrest, she was below him on the hill.
Yes.
If he was spread eagle, head down toward the bottom of the hill, and his skis crossed. Were his skis crossed, or were they out?
No, they were out. They were not crossed.
Did you ever go and help him, like, take his skis off?
No.
In the, let's say, the 5 seconds before the collision, you didn't watch where Gwyneth came from, true?
True.
And you didn't watch where Terry came from.
True.
You weren't looking at Terry until the noise and collision.
True.
Now, Terry's a good skier, he said, and he skis parallel.
True.
And the collision occurred to the far right, if you're going downhill, for the skier's right. True?
True.
And there's a bit of a, not a cliff, but kind of a sharp descent right there. True?
True.
Gwyneth was skiing with an adult male. Do you remember?
Yes.
And you thought it might be the Coldplay guy. Was that your...
I didn't know who it was.
Did you
The
tell me in your
Coldplay
deposition
guy?
you thought it was the Coldplay guy?
Joanne, she's into that stuff, and she said,
Did you tell me at your deposition that it was the Coldplay guy?
I said it might have been.
Oh, is that who she's
And,
married to?
Her son. You saw that her son came over?
True.
I heard you say that you felt the Deer Valley instructor was unprofessional. Did I hear you sort of say that?
Yes.
And did you ever report that to Deer Valley?
No.
Hey, what's going on, Tam Jules?
Did you ever fill out any statement? Like, hey, I wanted you to know what I saw?
No.
Yeah, Coldplay, that's a band, right?
You were 18.
True.
Gwyneth got on her feet. You observed that personally?
True.
And by then, she was like about 10 feet away from the collision site?
True.
Laundry
pull up
day.
James, if you
I
don't
forgot to
mind.
run my wash before 10 a.m., so I can't do laundry now.
Exhibit 4 of Ramon's deposition. And I don't things are, and this is it. If you look to your left there, and if you want to come down,
What is it?
Sidebar.
89A is received.
all right, 89A. Did you draw this picture? I think you can just use the big microphone there, but you can bring the exhibit to you if you. Kenneth, is that true?
Yes.
And then the X below that is Terry. You wrote Terry?
That's actually above. If you look right here, it says top.
You're absolutely right. You're right. Thank you. Let's orient us. So at the top, you wrote bottom. This is going to be very confusing for the transcript, but BOT, that means bottom,
Bottom, okay.
right?
Yes.
And at the bottom, it says top. This is going to screw everyone up. True?
Well, it's at the top of the hill and the bottom of the hill.
Thank you so much.
Wait, but then did he draw this?
So, and this represents where they came to a stop. Is that fair?
Yes.
And the
Oh,
right
where they came to a stop, okay.
side, it says drop off, right? That's the,
Yes.
and that's your own handwriting?
Yes.
And, okay, so then you put 2 X's with Craig. And what does it say? Does that say 40 right next to you? Craig 40? What is that?
Yeah, 40. Yes.
That's 40 feet away, right?
Yeah, from the time of the collision.
Earlier, I heard you say something like 35 feet, but you wrote 40 feet when we previously talked, right?
Yes.
And then that's where you came to a stop initially, and then it says Craig, and what's that word right there?
Is Craig after? Is that what you're looking at?
Craig after. So you slid down at some point. Is that fair?
Slid down. Where it says 40, that's where I saw the collision, and then I skied down to where after the collision.
Right. So what's the before versus after again? Why are there 2 Craig X's?
Because that's where I saw the collision, and then after that, where it says Craig after that, I skied down.
All right.
Oh, they got a little karaoke mic.
All right.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, have you previously met with the lawyers for Terry Sanderson?
The previous lawyer? Yes, I've met with him.
Did you meet with his previous lawyer too?
No.
Okay, I may have misunderstood you, so you can forget my question. You recognize these are not your lawyers, right? They're Terry's lawyers.
True.
Okay, but they prepared you for your deposition?
They just told me just to go in and just say the truth, just tell your story.
Okay, but you met with them previously? Without me?
I met with them.
Terry, is that right?
True.
He's someone more than just someone you skied with.
I went to once I met him at the Cotton Bottom, and twice I met him at the Cotton Bottom, and I skied with him 2 times after that, and ever since that I haven't seen him.
Did you once say that you could talk? Terry could talk to a wall for 3 or 4 hours and have a good conversation?
Yeah, so I was saying he has the gift for gab.
And that includes prior to the ski accident.
That was
yes.
No, I don't know about after, but
prior to the ski accident,
he likes to talk.
All right, guys, we are gonna end it right here. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of a shit show. This is the first witness for the plaintiff, and You know? It seems like he doesn't have good memory, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. I think so far it just doesn't really look too good for them. It's gonna be really hard to prove that one Gwyneth Paltrow was like, you know, just like being reckless, careless, ran to this guy, dipped off. Like, I don't know. We don't really have much. We don't have like surveillance footage or anything to even show this. The only one that we have that's an eyewitness is this guy right here, but it seems like this guy kind of, you know, has some memory issues, and I don't know if that's really going to be really reliable. And then the weird thing too, major red flag was the GoPro thing. Where's the GoPro footage? Where is it? Where did it go? What was on there? But yeah. If you guys missed any parts of this, you can just rewatch again on YouTube. I'll have the stream up live after I end the stream, and then I might chop the stream up. So I'll try to chop up the stream in case you want to watch bits and parts of it. I did chop up the videos from last week's stream and yesterday's stream. So if you guys missed any part of that, you can feel free to watch it. It's already uploaded on the YouTube channel. Currently, the obsessive ex-boyfriend trial, I uploaded part 1 of the daughter's testimony. Right now, they're on verdict watch to figure out if he's guilty or not guilty. I say guilty as heck. And then what else is there? Stephen Smith's mom spoke up to Court TV, Law and Crime. She's been doing interviews. They're planning on exhuming the body. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for chatting with me. Thank you for lurking. Join the Discord. Sorry, there's a lot of chaos behind me right now. Feel free to join the feel free to join the chaos. Feel free to join the Discord. The link will be right here if you guys want to join the Discord. Feel free to come in. We do have a true crime section. You're welcome to post anything in there, recommended stuff or true crime updates. We do have like a general chat section or a share pictures section if you want to share pictures of like pets or anything like that. That's cool. But other than that, guys, have a great day. Take care. And I will see you guys. We'll keep an eye on this, you know, because I am just curious. But I feel like, I don't know, it's going to be a tough case for them to prove that Gwyneth Paltrow, you know, was the one that caused the accident. And she's the one that owes this guy like $3 million or $300K or whatever the amount is. So Steve wants to put his words in. I know. Steve's in the back. He's prancing around back there. Bye, Brooke. Bye, Sal. Bye, Tam Jules. Julie Collins. Have a good one. Justin, thank you so much. Patty, I'll see you later. Crazy Cat Lady. And guys, take care of yourselves, all right? I'll see you guys in a bit. And happy spring. It is the day 2 of spring now. So